There's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly, he's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money. There's a man on TV at a desk in a suit. He lies through his teeth and they still call it the news. And there's a man in a white coat whose medicine kills. He loves when you're sick cause you pay for his pills. There's a man at the bank who will give you a loan so that you'll buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you spending your life online. Knows you're searching for truth but controls what you find. We'll be fine, babe, if we don't make it through. There's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly, he's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money. There's a man on TV at a desk in a suit. He lies through his teeth and they still call it the news. And there's a man in a white coat whose medicine kills. He loves when you're sick cause you pay for his pills. There's a man at the bank who will give you a loan so that you'll buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you spending your life online. Knows you're searching for truth but controls what you find. We'll be fine, babe, if we don't make it through. There's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly, he's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money. There's a man on TV at a desk in a suit. He lies through his teeth and they still call it the news. And there's a man in a white coat whose medicine kills. He loves when you're sick cause you pay for his pills. There's a man at the bank who will give you a loan so that you'll buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you spending your life online. Knows you're searching for truth but controls what you find. We'll be fine, babe, if we don't make it through. There's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly, he's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money. There's a man on TV at a desk in a suit. He lies through his teeth and they still call it the news. And there's a man in a white coat whose medicine kills. He loves when you're sick cause you pay for his pills. There's a man at the bank who will give you a loan so that you'll buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you spending your life online. Knows you're searching for truth but controls what you find. We'll be fine, babe, if we don't make it through. There's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly, he's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money. There's a man on TV at a desk in a suit. He lies through his teeth and they still call it the news. And there's a man in a white coat whose medicine kills. He loves when you're sick cause you pay for his pills. There's a man at the bank who will give you a loan so that you'll buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you spending your life online. Knows you're searching for truth but controls what you find. We'll be fine, babe, if we don't make it through. There's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly, he's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money. There's a man on TV at a desk in a suit. He lies through his teeth and they still call it the news. And there's a man in a white coat whose medicine kills. He loves when you're sick cause you pay for his pills. There's a man at the bank who will give you a loan so that you'll buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you spending your life online. Knows you're searching for truth but controls what you find. We'll be fine, babe. If we don't make it through, there's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly, he's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money. There's a man on TV at a desk in a suit. He lies through his teeth and they still call it the news. And there's a man in a white coat whose medicine kills. He loves when you're sick cause you pay for his pills. There's a man at the bank who will give you a loan so that you'll buy a house and then he'll take your home. There's a man who wants you spending your life online. Knows you're searching for truth but controls what you find. We'll be fine, babe. If we don't make it through, there's a man in a church who I really hope told me the truth. Said there's a man in the sky watching over me and you. It don't help if you can fly, he's way past the moon. And there's men here on the ground that just want to burn it down. They want money.
No one that you see in all these gurus and all these classes, I have not heard any of actually getting remedy through 1099s or anything like that yet. So, beautiful day to you too, Moonchild. Thank you for joining us. So, what we're doing is we're waiting. Like there was a lot of legislation that was standing in between us and being able to access and do the things that we would like to do. As for private plates, that's up to you. Living in the private is one thing. Accessing funds in the private, that's another ball game. So I mean, we're teaching people how to live in the private first, and then as we move forward and we learn how to move in the private when it comes to our funds, then we've taught everybody as we go. So like, I mean, first we're teaching people how to get in the private. We're in the private. So now once you get in the private, there's a lot of sharks that are trying to keep you away from your money, and keep you away from, your equity, I should say. We're not going to use the term money anymore. Okay, that'll be the last time. We talk about trust on here all the time. We can go one by one and help people. Like I said, we're out here helping each other today. We're doing a fundraiser. Y'all can donate, okay, to the E2 Studios Cash App. That is going to any donation, $1 up, whatever you guys want to do. Your name's going to be put in a raffle for the I'm Telling Fit with the new hat and t-shirt. And then we're going to be going to Washington, D.C. We're going to be taking a few of the boys with us. And we're going to be going down there and we're going to be filing. We're not stopping until we meet Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, Kash Patel. Like, here's the case. Boom, boom. No one's doing anything about it. They're all trying to sweep it under the rug. We need help. And I feel like, can anything be in? Yeah, I mean, they can't sue you over a hospital bill that that's fraud. You have unlimited insurance through the United States. Uh, let's break it down real quick for everybody. Your body and everything it does is insured against the United States government. So that means we are a risk. We're a walking liability for them. And we never knew it. They figured the faster they could kill us, the faster that they could keep us, oppressed, the more that they could keep us oppressed, that, the more we would, the less we would find out how much of a liability we were for them. That's what it boils down to. Risk versus reward. How much risk are you willing to take in order to be able to get the reward? Everybody say hi to Jamie. Like, all right. So I've been busy. We've been pumping it out. For those of y'all that want to get the Family and Stauffer Trust private investigation update, okay, Moonchild, Jamie's been putting a lot of stuff in, and extra stuff like all of our new updated stuff that we've been filing in federal court. So she's dumping all those affidavits in and in order, and then we're gonna be putting that together for an extra update to everybody's stuff. For those out here that don't know what's going on, we have a federal lawsuit against the county, against the city, against the senator, the governor, Governor Hochul, Letitia James, and they're already in default. Yep. And anybody that's here that's already received the first part of the private investigation, they'll testify. There's everything that any question that anybody has right now and what they're dealing with, it's in there. They could just look at it and say, "Oh, here's the irrevocable trust. Here's the revocable trust. Here's the court case. Here's the FOIA, the criminal record." You know, so any of those that haven't gotten it yet, look at it. Nothing is redacted. It's all public information. It's public law. It all went in on a case, and all my brothers and sisters out there should be able to see it. Again, we're asking for people out there, um, to just get with us on helping us get down to Washington D.C. to see this through. Um, we're trying to get up about $1,000 to go down there for 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever it takes. It's enough to get a hotel for a couple days and just pay for food and travel. We're asking, people out there to, we're trying to help them, help us so that we can continue moving this class action lawsuit forward for everyone. All the boys are coming in real quick. Uh, we it's not of when do we need it by, it's a matter of when we get it, we're leaving. um we're just gonna shoot down, and we're gonna be documenting everything as we go, just like we do here. So just like we have been, like when we were traveling across the country, and we would just pack up and go, but we just don't have it at this point, and it would, um we would have to take away from here in order to go down there. So that's what we're gonna do. And the students are gonna go with us. We have a couple of the boys that are gonna go with us. They're gonna see what it's like. They're gonna stand on their square with us, and it's so super cool. But that's Cash App at E2 Studios, and people can donate there. We do have. I think Jamie does have Venmo set up, um, but we don't use it very much. But either way, just get with us, email us. We'll figure out some kind of way if people want to donate. Um, it's okay. Everybody knows when y'all walk in. Consultation. Get a consultation right now. What do you want to consult about? Ah, Sergio Cruel just text me. Look at this. It came out right now. Hang on. Dope. Yo, Sergio Krill just texted me and said, no problem. I told him thank you for listening to our story and stuff. And that's super dope. That's what we're doing now. We're throwing an event right now. This is it. Like the audience that we have on TikTok, you got to realize like um most of the people that are connected to the officials here in this city are the wealthy. So anybody that has funds that would actually be able to donate here in the city is probably implicated in the crime. So, you know, the people that we, help and that we're trying to accommodate with this case so that we could, bring resources back to the community is they don't have anything. So it is what it is. Like we'll get it. God's got a plan and we're moving forward. How's it going, guys? Doing good. No, you can talk. Yeah, everybody's good. Yeah. We're in live, but everybody can talk. That's all right. Look at how respectful everybody is. They know I'm on live and they're still just, being good. So donate to these kids because this court case and what we're doing, is going to continue to motivate and support them. And they're going to get to see God firsthand move forward. Um, the t-shirts are true to the size. This is a large, okay? And I don't know, I'm about like I don't know, like 195, 200, and the large fits nice and, you know, snuggy. Moonchild, we appreciate you. Let's get our guest up here. We're gonna bring uh we're gonna bring a nice up and see what she needs help with. Hello? How you doing today? What can Well, first off, the thing about the gift letter, a lot of people are looking at it from a money aspect. First, you have to get equity in order to be able to use these affidavits. So, in order to get equity, you would have to actually be the owner of the estate, know what you were doing with it, and then file the necessary paperwork. And then once you get to that point, it's usually a fight with the county in order to be able to get you to move, to get anything to move. See, I want to let everybody realize something. Whatever county you were born in that created your birth certificate, they are the sub trust from your estate. It's called a sub trust. So when there's a sub trust, that trust is set up as pretty much the trustee account. So they're getting paid into that sub trust from your account. What you have to do is remove the state and the county from that sub trust. And that's what we're in the process of doing right now with this multi-million dollar lawsuit. Actually, it's a $1 billion lawsuit at this point, in federal court. I don't know a lot of people that are under the $150,000 bracket. Usually, from what I've understood, is that people are able to take $150,000 in cash and put this in an account, and then usually that would trigger enough monies in that account because it would be like 1.5 million on the backside ledger. My mentor said getting the first million's the hardest part. He said after that it's easy. And when he was telling me that, it really triggered into my mind last week was getting the first million is getting the county's hands off of your estate, getting the state's hands off of your estate. So if you haven't done that part yet, then the gift letter is not going to do you any good from my understanding, because what I did with the gift letter when I wrote that out is, if you look in the IRS manual, the IRM tells you that um, the beneficiaries are allowed, um, up to last year was 18,000. This year, I guess it's 19,000, 2025, tax free gift. Now, if you have control of the estate, you would be able to write that letter, go down to the county, and tender that at the county, and the county would actually have to write you a check and to each of the beneficiaries, because they're in charge of the trust. See, this is what we're running into a problem with. Um, if you're part of the buddy system and you're friends with everybody and play golf, then you can go down to the county and tender whatever negotiable instruments you want, you know? But if you're one of us, which is one of, the sheep that are out here waking up and, getting this knowledge, when you come through, they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You ain't one of us, And it's just like, well, now you have to implicate that. So today, the video today shows everybody, that I dropped today. That was actually at the law department. This is 2 years of fighting a court case. This is like from criminal to civil to federal. Okay. I won the criminal. They defaulted in the civil with an estoppel, and now I'm in federal with them defaulted, waiting for ADR. And I have initiated ADR, and they don't even. The video today goes to show you that they don't even want to talk to me. They're saying we can't even talk to you until we go to federal court, and they're saying, like, the reason why is because to protect me. It says it right in the video. She goes, the reason why we have to do it this way is because so it protects the pro se litigant. So when you guys watch that video, watch it to the end, because we are live on at E2 Studios -439 on YouTube. Thank you, Moonchild. But no, I posted it on TikTok just about 15, 20 minutes ago. So it's a new video. It just came out. It's got some red, blue, and purple writing over the top of our video, because I don't like to put everybody's face directly on camera and while I'm in the county buildings, because it's just better to show you where I'm at and who I'm talking to, and then have the phone there as a recorder, just like we were in court. And then that way everybody gets to see, like, real life, like walking in here and talking to these people. So as for the gift letter actually working without having some other things in place, I wouldn't know how the mechanics of that would be. Now, I do know that some people have relationships with their banks, whereas though they're able to write a substitute. This is all called substitute statements. An affidavit is a substitute statement. A substitute statement, if you guys all look up like a 1099B substitute statement, 1040 substitute statement, I get on here and I show people how to use ChatGPT to write a substitute statement. And really, a substitute statement is an affidavit. So that gift letter is actually a substitute statement from a 1099 form. What we're doing is learning how to actually sit down and write our claims out instead of using a 1099 claim form, because a 1099 is nothing but an estate claim form. So as for the gift letter, if anybody's trying to like run out there and just get 19 bands real quick to try to help their situation, if you can figure that part out, tell me. I know how to write it and I know where it goes. Getting them to perform on the obligation, on the other hand, that's the 18 USC 241 242 definition right here on the back of the shirt, right here, deprivation of rights, right here, boom. You see what I'm saying? Because of the fact that every time, and that's what they're doing when they're not performing on the obligation. So we the people have to start pushing as a group together in our, like, if you got some people, like, I don't have enough people in my city to gather together and go after them to make them perform. So therefore, we're doing it by ourselves. I can't hear you. You had to speak up a little bit. So first off, like I started with the passport. Like I went and got my passport changed. I'm not a U.S. citizen on my passport anymore. Oh, we love you too. Thank you. Ooh, yes. We're doing a giveaway, a raffle. I'll let you know in a second. Um, so what ended up happening was is you would do I did the passport first, and that took me out of jurisdiction. Like they weren't able to do that. I tried to sign a fiduciary relationship through a substitute statement. Form 56 is just a IRS form. It's an OMB form. You don't have to use an OMB form. An attorney is a professional writer, so what they do is they use paralegals to write substitute statements. They don't even file those forms. So, and that's how they can determine what's coming through the IRS is the people that file in the forms, and then you have handwritten letters, and you got affidavits and substitute statements. So I feel like that's gonna be the difference. Um, you have to pay them to perform. Did you pay them the $21? Listen, I tendered lawful currency right across the counter. I got a B file for it, and they still won't perform. So you know, I've done everything that anybody has said that they could do. Any question that they have, I've done. You know, so and hey, I don't want to get flagged. I believe in freedom of speech, but we're trying to keep it clean right now. um, so I would start the passport. I would start with, then also doing a trust, like, or irrevocable trust or revocable trust, and start stacking up your fivefold ministry. Like people don't realize, like even if you were to get tens of millions of dollars, what are you gonna put it into without it being like gaffled? Like so you got to have your trust. You got to have like your irrevocable trust, like your bank. Your revocable trust, that's like your holding company. You got to have your corporation. You got to have your nonprofit, and then your sole prop, and that's a fivefold ministry. And when you start having all these different entities in place, then what it does is it protects the assets of the trust, and it allows the trust to move around. We have all that stuff in place, and they still don't allow us to move around. So um it's tough, being out here teaching people, and then also having to be honest. Like our wins that we have is the fact that all of our paperwork has gone unrebutted. Like I have 2 years. Like Jamie's got hundreds of pieces of paper and apostilled, authenticated, signed, stamped, sealed. I've got a judge's certificate of disposition, all kinds of things. Set me up with a financial advisor, all kinds of other people in service. That's what's up. I wish my bank would offer that, Merrill Lynch, but it's okay. Yeah, and then if you go look on our page, there's a page that has like all of our information on there. My wife Jamie is over on the computer, and what she does is when people email her, then she's gonna send you our full private family estate for trust, along with some like example affidavits, to help get you through. Like, there's some stuff in there for like tickets. There's some stuff in there for like, restraint, unlawful restraining orders. We know that we got people that are getting tickets, and we got people that are getting restraining orders put on them in their family cases. As soon as you start doing this stuff, the court's going to start slapping you with stuff against your kids, your family, and everything else. So just be prepared. Like, this is a spiritual war. We are children of God, and like it's a battle. It's a battle. All right? But just keep the faith that he's with you, because like you guys see me right now, like with all the stuff I file against all the people I file, you think if I was going to be shot, stabbed, or killed, it had already been done by now. So, it's like, just know that God's protecting us, as his children, and just like keep the faith and keep moving forward. Don't quit. Whatever you do, don't quit. And we're here. All the paperwork you need is in that file that you'll email and ask Jamie for. Like, you'll have our investigate. Yes, ma'am. The Everlasting Expressions LLC at gmail.com. No worries, because everybody, I mean, I can't see like people out here. I get on here every day and I got people they're charging 1,000, 2,000, $3,000 for, half of the information that we give away freely in our case. So I mean, just, like we said, just support the next person, support everybody, and teach one, please. You're welcome. All right, all right. So, like I said, E2 Studios on Cash App. Um, and then, or you could look up Jamie Wang. I think it comes up either way. Um, and we're here to help people, get that private investigation out there to everybody. Um, like I said, we got the merch. We're doing a raffle. We're gonna be anybody that donates at the end of our trip to Washington. We're gonna be yup. At the end of our trip, we're gonna be boom doing a raffle, and we're gonna be giving away the free merch, the T-shirt and the trucker cap. Yup, the I'm telling. Boom. Yup. You. How does it work in my case? I was born overseas and have a USA naturalization certificate. You're gonna have to look into the new laws or the new executive orders, because I know Donald Trump has made some changes to that, so that your situation is kind of different for you. No, I get it. When it's time to file a case, we ran out of ink today, so completely. So it's like we can't even print papers right now. But it is what it is. I was gonna go file some papers today, and we didn't have any ink, so I just went in person. But and was like, "Hey, I'm here," and it was so amazing to see the scriptures that God gave us, during that time. So, um, we are live on YouTube at ChatGPT, or with my ChatGPT up. All right, and we're helping people write whatever affidavits they need. Yup. Thank you. I appreciate that. Where do you go to start a trust? The Word of God. To realize what a trust is is to have full faith and credit in something that you don't see. To be able to put your signature on a piece of paper and to be able to agree with someone else on a topic. That's all trust is it's a letter of agreement. All in agreement. When you go open up a bank account, that's a trust. When you go uh when you sign when you swipe your credit card and you sign on that piece of paper, that's a trust agreement. Now, depending on what kind of trust you're trying to start, that's the question. How about this? You could go to ChatGPT. I have an irrevocable and a revocable trust, and I have uh, a family foreign grantors trust. We also have a nonprofit and a church, two separate organizations. The nonprofit or the never for profit 509 is separate from the church. What's up? What's up? Answering questions today. Got some people on the live. The question you should ask, what do you think the three EINs with the bank and Linda of the trust to set up? Well, yes, because you want to. The irrevocable trust is you taking the dead entity and grantoring that into a family trust, setting that up so that you as the beneficiary slash trustee, because you could be everything. You could be everything. Don't let them fool you. We do not have a driver's license, but we do have insurance, and our insurance um, just says that we have insurance, but it doesn't have a policy. No, that's what I'm saying about ours is like we have insurance, but it says there's no policy on there or something. Yeah, it says there's no coverage. Like we have insurance, but no coverage. Like, and we drive by cops all the time, and they don't pull us over with the automatic stuff. So progressive, you can write a letter to Progressive. They're the easiest ones from what I know. I'm private and have DOT place. Yes. So I did the whole private DOT thing through the trust, where the trustee is the actual transporter, and then it was free. Got the DOT number. They keep asking me for BOI reports, and I keep telling them, "Yep, I'm not. I'm done. Like I'm not paying another dime, and I'm not doing anything in their favor until someone sits in a room with me and tells me what the hell is going on." Grateful for you too, for sure, for sure. Because we couldn't be what we be without you guys. How do you pay a cell phone bill? So saw your video yesterday. We're still waiting to hear back from the IRS on the vehicle. We've reported everything. The dealership sent us back a letter saying that they're waiting for payment. So I'm sure the IRS, they're in charge of payments. They're going to be making those payments, and then it'll be delivered. All right, so let's go ahead. I don't have a driver's license. I have a passport or FOIA attached to it. Yep, I got a passport. I don't have a driver's license either. I only gave the bank my one EIN for the irrevocable trust. Yep, and nice. You got the emails, right? Are you checking them? Yeah, she's responding. She's seen it and nice. Got you. Takes a minute to upload all the files because they're big. Brother, your ticket, did you get the affidavit? Fill out your affidavit, put it on the record for your deal, and then once you got the affidavit, you could just articulate off of that affidavit. You got to study the affidavit. Yep, 90 days. So if that's the case, we would be like, what? We got to wait like another probably like 45 days in order to get the Hummer. And that would be at the 90-day mark. The insurance, the best way to be covered. Blood of David. King David, yup. Bloodline all the way from Adam. Can you beat a speeding ticket as a commercial driver? The process for the car is inside the family of Stauffer Trust paperwork. Yup. Yeshua. So we just got the new T-shirts in, everybody. The I'm telling got the checklist on it right here. You know, I'm telling the feds, the comptroller, the SEC, Trump, God, Jesus, everyone. The Dennis the Menace, we're wrecking shop. The new trucker cap right here. Dennis the Menace joint. You violate my rights. It's got the QR code right here for the Family of Stauffer Trust, the Hip Hop Church of Christ website. On the back, it's got the deprivation of rights, 18 USC 242, with the fine imprinted on the back so that they know that you are a walking affidavit. This is a walking affidavit. All right? UIL life insurance policy. Are you talking about the main life insurance policy or Social Security that we all file claims against? Because that's what we're doing. We have an insurance policy that's unlimited, and the whole way for us to get access to that is to file claims against it. If we don't file, that's what they do. They're filing claims. You get a ticket, you come into court, you sign a piece of paper, they file the claim, they hit you with the bill, and they get paid. It's one big insurance policy. Are you talking about using an insurance policy to fund your trust? Yes, that's what I thought. I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, some people use Roths, IRAs, stuff like that. You know, dump it into the trust bank account, and because it's always generating money or generating income, they use the future assets of that towards loan payments. I don't want loans. I don't want any kind of. I want to sign my name and get what I asked for. That's equity. I don't want anybody to say boo to me because I do great and amazing, wonderful things for the community, and do things completely unbiased. And if that be the case, because I come in good faith, because I come as a minister of Christ, and because I live my life a certain way, and because I've proven that, then in that manner, you know, we should get equity. I don't care about an amount. Like, there's no amount. Like, to put an amount on Christ, the inheritance of our Father Christ is almost a slap in the face in itself. You know, like I want them to be accountable for their activity, accountable for the things that you know, are in place that allow us to come in good faith. Like, hey, if we go through 2 years of trauma, fraud, and abuse and we're still coming to you, and at the end of the day saying, listen, we love you, we know that everybody makes mistakes, but somebody's got to recompense and make this right. Give equity and make it right. You know, actions. Yeah, like, I mean, yo, listen, you guys could go get a bottle of Windex and get a squeegee and a towel and walk around your town washing the windows, and by the end of the day, you'll have $500. Like, I could teach you guys how to go get money if you guys want money. What people want is they just want a free check, and I don't want a free check because my check wasn't free. It was by the blood, the stripes on his back. My father died for that equity. One-on-ones. Yeah, we're here. We do one-on-ones right here. I'm up on live on YouTube right now. We video this and we leave it on YouTube now. Um, as soon as I stopped getting restricted on TikTok, we did rebuild the TikTok studio. So now that that's going to be all set, as soon as they allow us to go live on the studio again. Amen, Moonchild. I only like that's the thing. I only want, like I don't even want what God promised me. I just want to do him right. Like, like he yes, he is a God of promises. He has made promises. And we are to hold him to those promises. Like he says, like, are you gonna try to outgift God? You can't outgift him. So I just continue to give and give and give. Like, okay, like affidavit, 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 boom, 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 boom. And you guys will see that in the new pack. We just released the new extended Family of Stauffer Trust investigation that goes all the way into the federal court up into the video of today where the attorney was honest and said, listen, this has to go through federal court in order to protect you, the pro se litigant. So I feel like, all right, we could do a one on one. Anybody that wants to do a one on one, listen, we do that. We do it here. We do it freely. But like I ask you guys, please donate to the ministry. We're doing right now. We're doing a raffle. Anybody that donates, their name is going to be put in to the hat right here, and we're going to do a drawing on the new merch that I'm telling, Dennis the Menace, and they're going to get a free t-shirt and a free trucker hat. And then and we understand those that can't donate, but there's a lot of those that can. And so we're trying to get up $1,000 in order to take our case down to Pam Bondi. Personally, we're taking some of the students with us. They want to go, and they said they're willing to step on their square and support, the effort. And we're gonna go down there, and our telling joints, and we're gonna go talk to Pam Bondi, Donald Trump, Vance, whoever it takes. We have a media podcasting company. They're opening up the White House to the podcasting company. They're talking every day down there, so there should be no reason we shouldn't be able to get in and exercise our rights and talk to somebody, especially with a case that's got like, a good 700 pages worth of material in it for them. I feel like the state here is holding it like they don't even know that this case is out there. I don't know. And if they do, then, there's a lot of things going on, but this is definitely one that needs to be handled. It's not explaining to Verizon that the bill's been paid. It's getting to the right individual that's going to put in the paperwork. And then even when they put in the paperwork, what they're going to do is they're going to let you get about another month, and then you're going to have to do it again. And then you're going to get another month, and then you're going to have to do it again, and another month, and then you're going to have to do it again. Like, there's multiple people that do this, and, it just gets frustrating every month. Like, we want our equity. So we sent our bills into the treasury so that they would just, go ahead and take care of the whole thing instead of dealing with the company that just wants to do it by the month. All right, we got 30 people up in here. Let's get some taps and some likes. All right. And just any questions, like we got the Chat GPT up here, Form 1422. What about it? Are you talking about Form 1522 or 1422? Isn't Form 1522, isn't that the one for the recoupments for the receipts? Yeah, 1522 is the one for the recoupment for the receipts. To what? So 1422 is a claim form. That's funny. For someone in corrections. Yeah, that's us in your open door prison. 1522. To keep it real, we have so many receipts, it gets overwhelming to look at them and do a 1522. I mean, I genuinely have 3 boxes full of receipts, like over a million. I have over $1 million of paper receipts. No, we did. We individualized each account. So we got the credit report and matched the credit report up to the actual coupon statement that came in. And then what we did was we accepted. Um, we You just write accepted on the front of the bill. Like anything that you get, your CP 575, anything like that, you just got to accept it. And the way that you accept it, an acceptance and an acknowledgement are both the same thing. If you guys want to go on YouTube, I can show you guys how to do an acceptance. That's the problem. Yes, you're on the right track. It just depends on where you live, on where you send your bills. Look at the 1096, and on the front of the 1096, it's gonna tell you where to say E2 Studios 439. E2 Studios 439. So if you got a 1096 in front of you, the 1096 um will tell you on the right hand side, I believe on the bottom, it'll say like if you live in these states, send it to here. If you live in these states, send it to there. So what we did was is we took our 1099A, our C, and our OID for each account, and then we did it from the all caps name to the trust. So it would pull the credits down from the all caps to the trust. So we're saying that the grantor is taking these credits and sending them to the trust, EIN. And then from there, we're using the trust um, Merrill Lynch bank account to deposit to. Yeah. All right. Listen. Huh? You'll take them. You coming back, right? So you know how to get there, right? You can direct her. All right. All right. So you guys give Jamie a second. She's gonna be taking one of the gentlemen home real quick to his mom. And then she'll be back. We'll be sending more emails out. So again, we're live on YouTube, E2 Studios 439. We're helping people. As you can see over here, we have plenty of information that we've done. They're in my sweater over there. Sorry, I was sick last week. The application with the red ink that you spoke about when you said to staple on the. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not an app with the red ink. It's not an application. It's the I do not consent to the complaint. Um, that's the I do not consent. You can write a regular affidavit too, but the do not consent kind of just sums it all up. They are already billed directly to the treasury. Like they're already filing against you to the treasury. You don't have to tell them to do that. Like this is where it's tough. Like people don't really get it. Like, okay, let me explain this real quick to you. Okay, everybody that's worried about a bill, you sign up with an account. You give them your social. Between your social and your signature, that gives them the ability to go open up an account that is federally insured for up to 250K. So when you go open up a credit card, that credit card is federally insured for up to $250,000. So that means that there's an insurance account at the credit card company, and they are borrowing against they're all the transactions is against insurance. You're the surety. Like, as long as you're alive, they can steal from you. The minute that you die, we're finding out even when you die, they can steal from you because there's people 300 years old that are, that are still getting paid. Anybody that wants the affidavit for the unlawful ticket right here. Boom. Right here. Anybody wants the ticket affidavit? Here you go. Affidavit of truth regarding unlawful traffic citation. Explains US 241, 242, or everything. Your right to travel. It's all right here. Like, lack of jurisdiction. Anybody that likes a copy of the things that we go over, again, you can email everlastingexpressionsllc@gmail.com. And, Jamie, when she gets back, she'll get it out to y'all. If you're not paying attention to what we got going on, we're both live on TikTok and YouTube at E2 Studios 439. We are having a fundraiser right now. That fundraising, Grand Rising. That fundraiser is to get for us to go down to Washington D.C. and bring our federal case down there to them and show and get with Pam Bondi. We're trying to get up and do what we can do. We released a new I'm Telling merch. This is exclusive right here. The red joint. This is just going to be given away for the raffle. Anybody that's donated, their name's going to be going into the hat. Boom, boom. And we're going to be, raffling off this fit. Can you add your name to that case? Yes. If people want to get together, I'm in New York. If they want to get together and they want to add their names to the case, all you got to do is just, boom, get with me and say, hey, listen, I want to add my name to the case. Yeah, we help with the youth. They're all in there in the studio right now, just so that y'all can see. This is the studio. Look, we keep fruit on deck, keep waters on deck. Just try to provide them with the resources that they need. While we're doing our we're teaching people how to not get their rights violated. I'm in Queens, New York City. Good, because like once we get everything together, we're gonna go out to Albany. We're gonna get the rest of our apostilles done. Anybody need any apostilles? Anybody need any kind of apostilles or authentication paperwork done? We offer those services as well. You can send them to our post office box, and we can go ahead and bring them out to Albany, and we can get those apostilled and authenticated for you. Yes, we're in New York. Would y'all go out and shoot a 30? We can download the application. What application, Journeyman, are we talking about? It doesn't have to be in New York. See, listen, I can take any document that you send me and get it apostille and authenticated here at the Secretary of State of New York. And the Secretary of State of New York, when you authenticate and apostille something here, That's everywhere. Are you talking about the red I do not consent to contract? Um that's in the redemption manual. If anybody wants the redemption manual, I can send the redemption manual out to you as well. You just got to email Jamie. I got it in the Google Docs. Um the redemption manual is legit. Like I didn't use it fully, but I did learn a lot from it, like about just the process. No, you don't have to give away POA. They don't even ask you. Listen, as an administrator, like you walk right in there, and I've done so many, they don't even ask me for ID. You just got to fill out the paperwork and pass it across the table, and then they for you. I pay the $10 fee for the apostille or for the authentication. Actually, it's $15 total because I get the Department of State affidavit put on top of your paperwork, and then after that, I go get it apostille. So hang on a sec, I'll show you. Hang on one second. I've given the court almost all my originals. All right. Here you guys go. You guys want to see how to do some records? You guys ready for this? There's a 1040. This is getting ready to get sent off. So this is all the stuff right here in a packet. Just so that you guys want to see the original from the judge? I keep this. They don't get this one. Nobody gets this. You guys see what that says? Certificate of disposition. Right? You guys see that gold bond? Boom. Don't mind the coffee stain that happened in the old house before we got, Here you go. Certificate of disposition, the New York State versus Adam Eli Stauffer, 160.50. Stamped by the judge. Look, you guys see the stamp here. Ooh. So this certificate of disposition right here, you guys realize this right here? This is a judge that said that, hey, I seen his trust. I seen his birth certificate. He came in here in criminal court and proved he was innocent, and I stamped his paperwork and gave him his estate. He's free. His record's clean. Go look it up. 160.50. Let's go ahead. Look it up. I want to show everybody because people don't want to see how serious this is. You guys on my YouTube, you guys can see right now. Criminal Procedure Law 160.50, New York State, that allows for the sealing of records and destruction of fingerprints, palm prints, photographs, proofs, and copies thereof when the outcome of the criminal case is in favor of the defendant. The law applies when there is a favorable finding of acquittal. The records to be made available to the defendant compromise all records and papers relating to the arrest and prosecution in the criminal action. The full text of the law can be found in Criminal Procedure, Chapter 11A, Part 2, Title H. You guys hear that? It means that destruction of all fingerprints, palm prints, photos, documents, birth certificate. I have 3 dispositions, but I had an attorney for all 4. 3 for all 3. Yeah, I had no attorney. No attorney. The living man. No one spoke for me. It said in the Bible, I read in the Word of God today, children are quiet. Children are seen and not heard. You remember that growing up? When an attorney speaks for you, you're still a child. Yeah, let's go. That was in the Bible. Where do we find the affidavit to the Department of State? So listen, they don't even give them out no more. I have a copy of this, right? That I got from the courtroom in Albany. The court clerk was told, do not give these out anymore after I started coming through with this. Once they gave it to me and said, hey, boom. Now the form number is a DOS 2091. And you can look it up and find it some places online. Okay? But that's what it is. And what it even says right here, look. Boom. I'll read that part to you. It says, use this affidavit at your own risk. The Department of State, the department in quotations, does not guarantee that this affidavit is suitable for all purposes or that this affidavit will be accepted by any other office for filing. The user of this affidavit agrees to hold the department harmless. This is the Secretary of State. When you use this, the Secretary of State's held harmless. Like, they're like, okay, we got it. We're on your side. Hold harmless for any and all claims which may arise as a result from completing this affidavit. If you have any questions regarding the applicability of this affidavit, please consult with an attorney. Why would they tell you to consult with an attorney? How powerful is this paper? There's a hold harmless clause. There's a consult with your attorney. So how powerful is this affidavit from the Department of State once you get it signed and stamped and sealed? Psalms 89. Woo! DOS 2091. Yup. 7/17 was the last print date. 2017 on the bottom. But as you can see, look. Department of State. How you doing? One Commerce Plaza. 99 Washington Avenue, Albany, New York. You guys see this? Look at this. This is an authentication. So when you do it this way, you have it authenticated and apostille. Just printed it. Dope. If you're able to find it, dope. That affidavit is crushing. Now, the way that I do this is once I have my statement, you guys see that. So every document that I write, every affidavit I write, I go out to Albany and I get an apostille put on it with this. Every one. Because otherwise, you got to realize you're dealing with a foreign court. Okay? The administrative court is a foreign court. So in order for you to be able to do business with the foreign court, you have to be a holder in due course. A bill on its face is not honorable. It's a bribe. You guys get that in law? A bill on its face is fraud. So what do? We have a cover sheet, private and confidential. Just to let you know, this is how we roll. This is how we do paperwork. You guys want to know administrative process? You want to know how we got them in default and estoppel? Right here, baby. Right here, baby. This is how you do it. I'm going to give y'all the ticket right here with the Willy Wonka golden ticket because now they can't speak because this affidavit has been proved all the way to an international level and you've gone beyond their scope of work. Right there. So that just, it shows everyone, you know, like what we're doing here, like when it comes to administrative process. If you go to E2 Studios -439, we're up here live. I'm showing people we're giving away the whole Family and Stauffer Trust packet. Now you guys see, I want to show you something. When you get stuff from an attorney, look, they send you an affidavit, a letter, and then they send you the file that they filed, right? This is my divorce. I represented myself in divorce. Look, right here. Says, right here. Boom. The attorney, her attorney had to put a special clause inside the paperwork, and he had to go on the record in the divorce court, and in divorce court he had to say, I understand Mr. Stauffer's rights, and I am here as a clerk of the court to exercise those. That's her attorney. Because I said, I'm here under special appearance. Maybe this is the old one. Because he sent me one, and then I was like, bro, I ain't signing that. I'll have to find it and then show you guys later. It might not be in this one. But anyways, but you guys go and you see, like, look, here we got an attorney sending an affidavit with a letter. This is a bar card attorney. So that's what we do. We send a letter with the information to it. Done. Any questions? I have an injury attorney. Well, that injury attorney has your your POA. I wouldn't have an injury attorney. I'd be presenting that case myself. All right, so we're live at E2 Studios -439, helping people out with their affidavits, helping people out with their legal troubles, because we're lawful. I know, Moonchild. Listen, I'll come battle it for you. We'll have them we'll have them running circles around their head. No, it's all good, but fire that injury attorney and take over the case yourself. Um, all right, all right. All love. What's up, G-Man? What's up, brother? Yo, look, G-Man. Look. The new Dennis the Menace joints came in, bro. That's what's up. File that habeas corpus. Yup, I'm telling. Yup. You think you could violate my rights? I'm telling. Yo, listen, if you guys ain't working, it takes faith. And faith is nothing but action and something that you can't see. Yup. The address is on our TikTok. Like when you go to the TikTok, one of the pages shows all of our information. We did it that way. Need a one-on-one. Have pending case. Used to be Ellie and realized rights violated. I can do the one-on-one, man, but you know, like I said, we do the one-on-ones here because outside of here, I give my time to the kids. So I mean, if you want my time outside of here, you got to donate to those kids because they need it. Well, I'll tell you this. We're doing a fundraiser right now. Our goal is to get up to $1,000, all right, starting today, so that we can take all of our information down to Pam Bondi with the students because the students want to go with us. And so we're going to go down there for 2 or 3 days, get a hotel room. So, I mean, everybody that's donating, we give our information freely. The donation is just to help them and y'all because when we get through, y'all get through because our case is public law. Unlike most people that are out there, their stuff is all sealed and they're working on sealed cases. We have actually put ours in the public and given it to y'all free. I mean, that's coming from the dealership all the way down to the federal court. So as for any kind of personalized help and stuff like that, you know, like we do it right here. If you want to come up and talk about it in front of everybody so that we can all share that, then that's cool. If not, you know, then my time outside of here is dedicated to those kids. So, I mean, if you want to take time away from them, you got to donate to their project. And that's whatever God puts on your heart. Like, there is no amount, you know, like, and that's just the truth. Like, I mean, it says in the Bible, the woman that had just one coin to give, gave the one coin, but she gave her all, and God blessed her. You know what I mean? Because she gave her all. That's what we did. We gave our all. We spent close to 600 G's over the past 2 years.
What's up, man? What's good, y'all? Lil J in here.
Uh
Yeah.
oh. Uh oh.
Peace and love.
The regulator just got here. He's the one that keeps them all in check. What type of case is what though? Our case? G man, you talking about our case? Everybody knows our case. Shabbat shalom. What? We appreciate y'all. That's what's up. Nah in the comments. Oh, okay. Brother, we'll pull you up. What do you need help with? Like, I mean, we're here. Like, I'll pull you up right now. Hello? How you doing today, brother? What can we help you with? Hmm. Hang on one second. Hey guys, will you close the door? Turn down a little bit. Thank you. Sorry, we're in the studio. I apologize. All right, so let me ask you this: where are you at in your case? I mean, I don't care about the details because the details are the devil's in the details. We want to keep it stupid simple, and when I mean keep it stupid simple, we don't give a shit what the details were. We don't want to care about any alcohol on your breath because any drinking and driving is against your constitutional right. Okay, hate to tell you this, but my grandfather used to drive around with a beer in his lap back in the '80s, and no one said shit to him. You know. So you've already taken an attorney and went through all the BS.
Yeah, I'm at the point of I've got the attorney, but now we're at like we just did a clean hearing, I guess, and then it was talked with the first time we got to meet with the judge. We never met with him. The attorney just talked to the prosecutor and the judge, and they offer this in lieu of conviction thing. So they want me to go see some doctor to go, oh, because of my wreck and the mental stress of losing everything, maybe I overreacted.
Well, that's against your religion.
Well, and that's what I'm sitting there going, what in the hell is going on here? How do I stop all of this?
Well, okay. Let me try something. Let me take what you got. Let me see what I can do. Let me see. Let's see if Mr. Wizard can do something for you real quick and see what I got. All right, let's ask ChatGPT. Let's get in here and have some fun with my friend that I built. All right. Let me think how I want to word this. It gives me a second to. I gotta try to think real quick. If anybody's paying attention, yo, Title 42, 241, 242. We know, but we gotta get him there because he's already got himself in the hot seat. He's already signed. Now here's difference. Most of the time we get someone. Bob's laughing. Most of the time.
When I did any stuff I did sign UCC 1-308. I was far enough along to know that at least try to reserve rights, but now I'm still at this loss of how do I get them to just go,
Well, first off, you got to fire the attorney. You got to fire the whole court.
and how do I do this?
You have to terminate the POA. Like, okay, so Four-Door, he's telling you got to terminate the POA. He's got a package. I haven't looked at that package yet. I know that the gentleman he gets his stuff from, I've seen one of his papers. It works. But we're just going to do it simple. A lot of these other people try to do things and they make it really complex. And I feel like, you know, any judge or anybody that's going to actually look at your stuff and say, hey, hey, I want to take the time out because this is authentic. When they see a 10-page letter that's got like every case and code and all that shit, they know all the cases and codes. They know all that. What they want to see is something different. They want to see like the authentic being. When I won in court, it was because the judge seen authenticity. He seen a man coming in good faith. I brought my kids to court with me. I stood on my square. I never went inside the bar until it was time for trial. You know, like, and I stood in front of all my peers, barefoot, reading affidavits out loud. Even when they tried to contempt the court, contempt, I kept on reading. You know, and that was the faith that I had in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For those out there that don't have Jesus Christ in their lives, I don't know how to explain the situation to y'all, okay? Because for me, it was my relationship with Jesus that brought me through the fire. Like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Daniel in the lion's den. Like, I'm serious. 2 weeks before my trial, the district attorney was being arrested. That's how good God is, and when you believe and have faith. Like, I went through 6 months of bullshit, and then 2 weeks before the trial, the district attorney gets arrested. I'm like, dang, man, I already proved that they're fraud. Now the district attorney's fraud too. Like, God, you making this easy now. You know what I'm saying? So, you're kind of in a different situation because, you went in. You said you're on an ankle monitor. Are you still on the monitor?
Yeah, like the attorney was supposed to file a motion to get it off, but the only time we've met with
He's not. Listen, you gotta erase the attorney out of your mind because the attorney. Let me explain to you guys the dynamics of court. We're only going into court so that we can choose a fiduciary. When we don't choose a fiduciary and we take an attorney, then what we do is we leave ourselves vulnerable. We take our armor of God off and leave ourselves vulnerable, and we sign a piece of paper and say, here you go, I'm at your mercy now. Because the person that becomes your attorney is the judge. When you take an attorney, the judge becomes your attorney. This is why they say don't take an attorney, because the minute you take an attorney, now the judge gets to practice law from behind the bench because you gave him permission to.
But do I have to have like done your packet and had all this stuff withdrawn before this point, or am I still at the point of I can get rid of the attorney and step in and say, no, look, I'm the living, breathing man that God created.
At any time from the conception of fraud, waste, and abuse, when you conceive, from that minute forward, there is no statute of limitations on what you can do and what your rights are. Because now what you've done is you've had a seizure by law, which is an action inside your brain that pulled you to the right frame of mind. Hang on, I got to get a charger. Otherwise, you guys are going to die on me. Is it still over there? The long white one? How do you what? I would recommend, first off, I would recommend reading the Constitution. Okay? Then read statutes at large and understand what that is. Then if you got that concept down, and obviously you're here so you understand the straw man and what it is, I need that little holder, if you don't mind, because with the cord on it, it won't sit flat. Thank you, baby. So getting back to what I was saying, so what you've done is you've gone into court and pretty much gave them rights, title, and interest over your estate. Now, in order to get that back, you got to think in the lines of Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was a slave. He lost and won his freedom 3 times. How far are you willing to go, and what kind of stone are you willing to stand on in order to get your freedom? And so once you realize that, you say, hey, listen, I have to separate myself from this system first. So what you do is you do a private contract with yourself, which is a trust. Now you've done a private contract with yourself. File that in on the record with an affidavit in the form of a living testimony that says who you are, blah, blah, blah. I have a 42-point affidavit in my packet and a living testimony that I gave them in court. And I have the trust that I gave in court. We give that all with our packet. When you open up our packet, you see like it starts off with, our cease and desist and our bill of peace. And then after that, it goes into our trust. And then after that, it goes into the court case and how it all came about, from the dealership to the discovery packet and the Brady motion that got filed to the affidavits that got filed, then to the win in the case when we won and got the certificate of disposition. Because when you get to trial, nobody's going to be there. Here's the trick. When you are by yourself and you're a pro se litigant, there's not going to be anybody at your trial because you're standing there with all your rights. And for them to go on trial and speak against you, they're violating your rights and they're telling lies because they're saying that you don't have no rights. So there'll never be one. Look, there will be no trial. Tell him, G-Man, I went to trial. He said there'll be no trial. There might not be no trial in federal court, but in criminal court, I went to trial.
Okay, so I know in the last few days I have downloaded and read so much stuff.
But that's the thing though. If you get our Family Stoffer Trust, which it's free, we just ask for people to donate to these kids and to the cause. As for like anything that we've done here in the studio, like everybody here on this page, G-Man, everybody that's been with us for the last 2 years, they'll all tell you, Like we financed like all of it ourselves. Like I mean, we scraped and scrounged and we've done all this. We've just now gotten to the point where as though like I'm blackballed like everywhere. So it's like I can't. The only place that was able that will deal with me is Bank of America, and that was just like 2 weeks ago. And I haven't done any banking with them yet because at this point I don't even trust anyone. Like I want to sit in front of a judge and have a judge sit down and say, "Okay, this is the truth. Here's your equity. This is how we got to do this." I already did the tort claim, went over the state court's head. I've already got him in default. I already got him in estoppel. And I posted a video today of me talking to the attorney for the law department. And she said, "I'm sorry, sir, but we have to do it this way in order to protect you as the pro se litigant. We have to go through the federal court." So, I mean, it just goes to show you guys, like, when you start filing your paperwork and doing everything right, I've got a letter from the insurance company. State National, Safety National, which is like the national insurance company for the states, for their public municipalities, and their insurance company denied and disclaimed their coverage. So that, and I have that letter. You get that letter in the packet too, so that you can show that in court and say, "Hey, look at, here's the state of New York versus Adam Eli Stauffer. He got a letter from their insurance company that proves that they work outside of their municipality." Everybody, boom. If you guys aren't taking this information and using it for your benefit, why are you getting it? Because with me, you get a certificate of disposition and you get the letter from the insurance company and the whole case. So you're getting a privately sealed case for absolutely free. And then you're able to take the pieces out of that case and put it in as evidence on your case. Because all my evidence has gone unrebutted. It's law. It's law. It's like Moses going up on the hill and getting a tablet and bringing it down to the people. You know, so it's just like most people that do what I did, like, or go to court and win, they keep it to themselves because they have to sign an NDA in order to get that check. They're like, "Oh, if you want your money, you're going to have to sign." And if anybody watched Ready Player One, and he was trying to get, Percival was trying to get everybody free, not just himself. He was already free. He had everything in the game that he needed. Him and his boys, they were ripping and running. They had everything in the game that they needed. But what they didn't have was freedom. And at the end, it sits down and it's like he's going to sign. He's got the golden pen, the golden contract, and he's getting ready to sign. And he all of a sudden he goes, "No, I'm not going to sign," because he'd be signing his POA away. And because in order for him to become the next person that was going to be the one responsible for the people, someone would have to prove selflessness. And he did. He proved selflessness when he could have had it all, and he put it all down to help the people. And I could have had it all. You guys don't think that I could have walked into the office and sat and talked to the district attorney a year ago, or to the county law department a year ago, you know, and they would have settled? Probably, wholeheartedly. But that's not what God planned. God planned on us going all the way to the end, so that, why? Because he knew that we're telling everyone, Dennis the Menace, like, we're turning upside down on them, you know, and that's what it's all about. Trump's doing it, Elon's doing it, Vance is doing it, all these people are doing it. So it's just like, you have to learn, okay, that what you have going on is what they call a deprivation of rights, a 241, 242 case. And in the federal court, you're God. Because you're a child of God and you have unalienable rights. So when you go to federal court with no attorney, they got to protect you. You're a witness. You never seen the movies, FBI, Witness Protection? It's the truth. All right, so if everybody wants to go through this, I can kind of, obviously, James Jamie's over there working the wood wheel if you got it. Any state, yup. This is every state. So when you go through, when you open it up, you're gonna get that. It's on the front's confidential U.S. 26 code 6103. When you look at this code, there's the reason why this code is so important is because on the 14039 identity theft affidavit for the IRS and Treasury, which is the only paper in the IRS that says affidavit, okay, and is an actual claim. On the bottom of that paper, it tells you about 26 U.S. code or U.S. code 6103, which is our taxpayer return information is confidential. Your name, your social, your address, anything that has to deal with you is private information. It's yours. It's your intellectual property. The only being in the whole government that can subpoena that information is a Supreme Court judge or the Treasurer of the United States, the Secretary or the Treasurer of the United States. So, with that being said, when you look at that law, then that means every officer, as soon as they run your license plate, they violate 26 U.S. Code 6103. The minute that they put your name on a piece of paper, they violate this. This is your copyright. Copyright trademark infringement right here. Okay?
So with the form that in your packet that we get online through the BioLink or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
all right, when we download it, what is it called? 'Cause
It's not in the BioLink, so what you're going to do is Jamie is just giving you the like this whole private investigation through an email.
Okay, where's that?
Everlasting. So you go to Everlast. Email Jamie, my wife at Ever. She's sitting at the computer on the other side right now. Everybody say hi. But she's sitting over there, and as the emails come through, she's sending out the packet. But it's Everlasting Expressions LLC at gmail.com. And then you'll get this whole book. Look, plus some, because we've added to this. But this is the first thing I filed in federal court right here. Yeah, she's also putting in the Telegram link, all that stuff. The Telegram link has 1,400 different books in it that you can read in documents. Yeah, so like all your jurisprudence, your Black's Laws dictionaries, your Flower of Life 1 and 2, your Cabal, you know, anything that the Book of Thought, I mean, anything that you want to like build yourself on, both, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, all those books are there.
Everlasting.
Expressions LLC at gmail.com.
Expressions, plural.
Expressions, yep. LLC at gmail.com. And like you guys can see, look, even this whole book, so that you guys can see, like, they look at me so crazy when I come into the Department of State. Look at them. Can you imagine them apostilling this? Look, I could take this anywhere with a Hague Convention now, and like they gotta accept this book. Like everything in here, they gotta accept the way that I do business.
Just sent her an email.
All right, so when you get that, we'll briefly go through this, and I'll show you everything that's in here, because when you start going through this, you'll be like, wow, here's the certificate of disposition, joint resolution 97-280, public laws in there. The retired judge spilling the beans article from Maine is in there. Like, I give him everything. Our indigenous rights is the people right here from all Supreme Court. It's all in here. Like,
Do you think I've got enough time, because I know
So here's the deal. As soon as you fire your attorney and you say you want to be pro se, okay, they're gonna adjourn the case, and then you're gonna ask for a Brady motion. You're gonna say, I would like to verbally file a Brady motion. And then once you do that, they're gonna that now you're gonna be pro se. He might give you a test. Okay. He might say, like, okay, like if you're gonna be pro se, you know what, like they ran me through a competency test. He said, what's your name? I said, well, my name's Brother Adam. They said, what school did you go to? I told them what school I went to. They said, what college did you go to college? I said, I went for 1 semester for business administration. He said, okay. He said, what do you do now? I said, I'm a business owner, an entrepreneur, and an evangelist. And he was like, okay. He said, and what business do you own? And I said, I own Everlasting Expressions LLC. It's a contracting company, and we do tile throughout the whole United States. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, so you know business pretty well, I take it. And I was like, well, I said, I know enough to be able to, you know, manage the company that I have. He said, okay. And then after that, he asked me a couple other questions or whatever, you know, just like I guess he was testing my spirit. And then he was like, okay, so I'm gonna allow you to be pro se for yourself, and you know, you're gonna have to, you know, be responsible for filing your motions and you know this, that, and the other. Okay, T House, listen. Sojuris, pro se, per persona, in New York State, it's all the same no matter what you say. It's the same thing, different definition, but it's all the same. I know, I've done it all. So, I go in per persona, in my proper person, my proper self. So, what ends up happening is, you dang, I got off topic. But anyways, once you go in there and you file that Brady motion, then they're the only they're gonna set it for discovery, and then you're gonna have to come back. And when you come back for discovery, all right, um, they're gonna give you only the information that they're using against you. If you don't file that Brady motion and you go in there pro persona, then what's going to end up happening is they could dump a whole dump truck full of shit on you. And then you'd have to go through all them paperwork. If anybody watches Suits, anybody ever watch Suits when they put Mike in the office and they dumped all that paperwork on him and he had to go through all that stuff? That's because he didn't file no Brady motion. And so when you file the Brady motion, they can only give you what they're using. So then they're gonna set it for a discovery hearing. Okay, a hearing is just everybody's gonna hear the facts, and they're not even gonna hear the facts. It's gonna be in paper. You know, you're gonna get your facts, and you're gonna be able to have more time to go home and study that. Now, when you study that, what you're gonna see is this. And this is where I teach my students. And I'll tell you what, there's not another person out there, another being, not another we the people out there that can show you this. You guys see this right here? You guys see that? That's page 2 right here of the adult arrest report. This is a deed. They just keep all this private. You see the parent is my mother. You see the other parents? New York, New York, New York. Now watch. And this is the second page of the adult arrest report. Why is there a second page that looks like a deed or a title that you don't ever see? You wouldn't see this unless you got your discovery, because when they arrest you, they just give you the one paper. They don't give you page 2. So now watch this. You guys seen the 3 names, how they line up, right? I need to put a sticky note here because I always get lost in the sauce trying to find this again. So let me show you.
And thank you. What you're doing is thank you because I'm down to like the work cut my position and yeah, like this is thank you.
Yeah, yo, Lodo, I'm recording live at E2 Studios 439. You can catch it on YouTube. Yo, this is the new merch, guys. The I'm telling Dennis the Menace joint. So, look, you guys see? Look at the Monroe County Clerk's Office. This is not a bill. This is the title. This is the deed from the clerk. Look, endorsed. It says Monroe County Clerk's Office warning. The state of New York. Look at that. Warning. This sheet constitutes the clerk's endorsement required by Section 317A and 319 of the Real Property Law of the state of New York. Do not attach or remove. Now you guys see the three names on the title? Watch. Look. Now it's all mine, right? Adam Stauffer, Adam Eli Stauffer, Stauffer, Adam E, Stauffer, Adam E, with the barcode. Now look, you guys see? Watch, I'm going to show you. Look. It's the illegal conversion from your parents. They're stealing your title. Now let me show you this. On the back of your discovery, what you're going to get is this. Like, look, here's my criminal record, FBI file. You guys are going to see everything I did growing up. I possession of cocaine. I had one possession of cocaine charge. I had a bunch of marijuana misdemeanors and stuff like that. And I had a burglary of a habitation. That was my felon. Two burglary of habitations at the same place at the same time. Don't tell me how that works out, but that's just how they do you. And I had 2 cases in Texas. They ended up having to drop one because it's like, how can you do the same thing twice at the same time? It's stupid, you know? So what ends up happening is I give this all to everybody to show you because now I'm not a felon no more. I don't have any record anymore. Because when I went to court, I got equity and proved that this is a lie. So when you go to the back of your discovery, and everybody that's in court, when you get your Brady motion, I'll show you this. The illegal conversion. Unlawful conversion, I should say. This paper right here comes to you is in a gold ticket. It's gold. And it looks like it's perforated, like it had it's carbon copy. You see this? It's a notice and a demand. You guys see how they write my name? It's the only paper in the whole packet that has my name written in my Christian appellate name with my lowercase. And the person that's doing the work, the dirty deed, the district attorney. Whoever your district attorney is illegally converting you for the court. I didn't sign. Oh, they're trying to restrict me now. See, look, as soon as I start showing the truth, they start restricting, and I didn't even do nothing. As soon as they found out illegal conversion, as soon as I say unlawful conversion, they start restricting me. Because I'm showing the truth. I'm showing everybody exactly where they're converting you in your court case. They're stealing your title. And they weren't able to do this to me, and I didn't even see this until later. I had already won, and I'm studying, trying to find out exactly what happened, and I was like, wait a sec. Boom. Yup, G-Man, you know, we get shut down all the time. Here's a UCC 11 in there so that you guys can see. Look, there's no encumbrances against the all caps name. Yes, the district attorney is illegally converting you to the court. Yes, they were acting on my behalf because, listen, when you give them power of attorney, what do you think they're supposed to do? Act on your behalf. What are they going to do? Are they going to do what benefits you? No, they're going to do what benefits the state. Hey, guys. I'm doing a live. You guys got 3 rooms. Help me out here. Love y'all. They're trying to shoot music videos and stuff. The DA has a Fed window. The district attorney? Yes, they do. The district attorney has the checkbook. So what they do is they illegally convert the case and then pay the state, pay the county. The county is your trustee. They're the ones that created your birth certificate, the county. Your parents registered with the local registry at the hospital for the county that you were in. Between the doctor, the registrar, and the state and the county, they created a certificate of trust for you. And so what you're supposed to be able to do is go down to the county when you turn 18, bring your birth certificate, apostille, and you give it to them and say, hey, I'm here for my deed and my equity. They're supposed to turn around and hand you a check for $250K. That's your first check, $250K from what I've heard. And from there is a payout. If you guys watch Whistling Diesel on YouTube, he cracks jokes about it all the time. He's like, he do like a screenshot of the county building. He said, I got to go there once a month and sign something. Because he's probably signing his dividend check because they can't pay him all at once. I don't know. But it just makes sense. Make it make sense. You know, like, or, you know, like I would want to pay out. Like, I'm like, yo, I'll trickle it down for the rest of my life. Like once a month for the rest of my life. That's like, you want to give me $250K once a month for the rest of my life? I perfect. You know, now I've got $250K a month for the rest of my life. Now I'm going to go to an international bank and I'm going to tell them, hey, listen, I got $250K coming in once a month until I die. And it's not even until I die now because I built a trust with my kids in it. And my trust is set up for 200 years. So now I have $250K coming in once a month for the next 200 years. Can I get some of that? Because I want to build hydroelectric power in Rochester, New York. So I need about $200 million to start that project. What are you doing? I mean, it's going to be the same thing on a higher level. Like when you own a business and they say, hey, give you your first 4 month statements, right? So you're like, okay, I give you my first 4 month statements. I made 20 grand in 4 months. And now you're going to give me a advance on that 20 grand next year. You know what I'm saying? Or next 6 months because I showed you that I made 20 grand. Then I'm going to discharge it after you give it to me. I'm going to send it to the IRS and I'm going to let them know that, yo, they gave it to me. I want to discharge this. Here's a 1099-C. Let me cancel that debt out, you know? And boom. Can you do that at your age now? Yeah, I can do all that at my age now. You could do it at 18 years old if you know what you're doing. Come on, look at all these people. You think that Elon and all these people, they're just making billions of dollars? No, they're using their trust and they're building. They're building, and they're not just building their trust, they're building the public trust. We all have a public trust that's together. That's the feds. But we're not using it right. We're not working together. So, like, if I was a father and I had all my kids fighting over money, I would tell everyone, y'all screw yourselves, figure it out. And whoever gets up here and does it the right way, I'll chat with you about it. You know? And that's just the truth. I mean, I love, like, everybody with all my heart, and I know everybody's going through certain things, you know? And we don't judge folks. But it takes a lot of hard work, dedication, a lot of reading, and then even after you've done all that, it doesn't matter because without faith, you ain't moving no mountains. So, like, I was in court on my knees praying while the judge and the district attorney were in the back talking about my case before trial. You know, I stood up in front of a court and I read my testimony in the form of my affidavit in the form of a living testimony. I read that, like, out loud, even when they're saying contempt, we're about to throw you in jail. I was like, I don't care. My God, I was crying in tears with my daughter there, ready to get arrested. My baby, single dad my whole life. I raised her. Her mama died when she was 7 years old. And even before then, her mama wasn't around very much. I'm there with my baby. And I'm like, yo, listen, there's no way, God, that you're going to send me down the river with my child here doing the right thing. And he didn't. If anything, he rewarded it. He said, that's a man of faith. That's the kind of men that I need leading this country. Those are the kind of men and women that I need leading this nation into the future. Because if I don't got people that are strong enough to stand on their square and lose it all, then they're not going to be in the right mind frame to make good decisions for other people. That's just the truth. And when we look at it, it's like everybody, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but I will say this. We're all looking for some relief in the form of money, but the relief is in the form of faith. And then our financial freedom will come when God is ready for us to have that. So it's just like the only, like my financial freedom is just that. It's the fact that I know that God has me taken care of daily. We do not go without on a daily basis. So I'm financially free. Does that mean that I can go out right now and just buy a Ferrari and drive it down the road? No. But does it mean that, like, you know, the food, the shelter, the clothing, the things, the promises that he made were fulfilled? Yup. And then when I'm good with those promises, like it says in the Bible, and I take, you know, then he will give me more. So it's just like, I want to explain that to everybody when they're going through this. Now, when you go to court and you're doing your paperwork, do it in faith. Don't take a template and copy it. And if you do take a template and copy it, pray about it. Take it and say, God, listen, because I've taken a template in the past. I've taken a template. When I was starting out, I needed help too. The email is everlastingexpressionsllc at gmail.com.
So go in, do pro se, get rid of the attorney.
Yes, you're gonna fire the attorney. You're gonna take back your POA, and then you're gonna put a trust in on the record, and express that.
And now that for going to your trust, I can use Bible, but do I have to have?
Well, your Bible is your trust, but you want to write paperwork, an affidavit that describes that. You guys seen? I just showed you. Look at. Let me guys show you, just because this is the way that I always like to look at stuff, right?
See, I guess my thing's the worry of, do I have enough time before?
What the okay. All right. I'm going to pray right now with everybody. And I know it sounds funny, but I really want to do this, okay? Because I feel like people need to really get this. Dear Heavenly Father, will you please put it on all of our hearts that we are on your time, not the court's. You're on a time clock with your Father in heaven, not with the court. And he has grace and he has mercy and he loves you. He's just wanting you to do the right thing, and that's come to him with full faith and say, hey, I know that I'm not good enough. I know that I have some flaws. And I know that this paper isn't completely perfect, and it might not even say everything that I need it to say. But God, please, whatever you have me put on this piece of paper right now, let it be my next step closer to you. Boom. No matter what paper you file, as long as you keep working that way, I promise you with all my soul, he's going to honor that, and he's going to give you the next step. We're building bricks. We're building bricks. It's like the pyramid. You know, we get a brick from God, We get a piece of paper, and it gets accepted, and we know it's good. Like it doesn't come back. We got a brick. We put it up. Boop, brick. Then we get another brick. Put it up. Boom. Now, honey, will you give me you know the files that you scanned in today? You know the one that's stamped by all the courts? The real paper, I'm just going to show them out of that file. Now I'm going to show you what to do with your paperwork, okay? Once you get it. And yeah, you can file with the IRS, G-Man, and I filed with the IRS, and they haven't done shit about it yet. So until someone calls me, I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going up the ladder all the way. Actually, I'm about to go make Pam Bondi my attorney, or my fiduciary. That's when we go down there, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make Pam Bondi our fiduciary, and we're going to hand her our case completely. The what? At L? Well, you are my at L. Love you. What you guys doing outside? You about to what? Oh my gosh. You got to run Boston home again? Oh, he's got to go home for the night? I thought he just gave him to her. Kids, it never fails. He just left to go give his mom the keys, and then he let her in, but he didn't give her the key. All right. And that's how we are, too. They let us in, but they don't give us the key, right? Ah! All right. So I want to show y'all this, okay? Because this is the difference between where I started and where I'm at now. So when I filed this stuff, this was my first. So that you guys can see. This is the beginning of my affidavits when I first started. When you guys get the packet, when you guys see this right here, the living testimony in the form of an affidavit, there's two of them in there in the original court case. The first one is the 42-point affidavit that everybody would want to put in on their file. Trust me when I tell you, because it proves that fiat currency is false or is fraud. Okay? Like, this thing is gems. Like, look, number 28, this is the 28th point. Federal Reserve notes are not dollars. U.S. Treasury Council Monk. Our U.S. Treasury Council Monk. Both notes and checks are acknowledgments of indebtedness and a promise of payment. Hagman versus Moon. It follows that all your name and upper and lower case estate ever received as payment for any goods and services from federal corporations or their employees are promises to pay, otherwise known as IOUs or promissory notes. In this case, Federal Reserve notes. The government ain't done nothing but give me a promise, and they ain't performed on their promise, and that's just what the boils down to. You know, like when we look at money and we look at fiat currency, it's a promise that they have not performed on. Amschel Rothschild had set this up years ago, and he came up with the promise to pay, and he pushed all the payments forward until now. And now there's a debt, and we're coming for it. Robert, you need to talk to somebody. We could talk to you in a minute. We're helping out Brandon real quick and just letting him, get over the hump of this. Trying to let him. We're breaking fear here. Guys, look up. It's No Fear Act. Look it up. It's called the No Fear Act. It's an act. Okay? No Fear Act. We're supposed to have no fear. That's how they test us. If we're afraid, we're sheep. They know it. As soon as you're afraid, they got you. And they know it. They had me for the last year afraid. Even after doing all this, I still was in fear. It wasn't really until even after I got the certificate of disposition, I was still afraid. It wasn't until that I got pulled over the first time with the passport and I handed it to him and he turned around and said, handed it right back. Boom. Have a blessed day. I'm sorry for bothering you. And I was like, oh shit, I got the certificate and the passport. It's on now. I'm ready, So, look at this. Number 26, money as used in the Crimes Act. Look at this. Section 13, providing that any person stealing any money, the property of another, shall be guilty of larceny, cannot be construed to include bank bills, but strictly bank bills are not money, though for many purposes they are treated as such. I mean, listen, there's so much. The term money does not include banknotes. They pass as cash and constitute a part of the circulating medium, and for many purposes are not to be considered as money, but in the strict sense of the term, they are not included therein. It's the legal acceptation of money means current metallic coins. Therefore, an indictment for embezzling money is not sustainable by proof of embezzling greenbacks or national currency notes.
So what would you say besides X? We get rid of the attorney.
You get rid of the attorney, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna start filing affidavits on your behalf, and then when you file them, I'm gonna show you. You see how this says received by the City of Rochester Law Department,
Yes.
and you see up at the top it says the Monroe County Law Department. So I got the Monroe County Law Department to stamp it. I got the city law department. This isn't the district attorney. This is the, excuse my language, but this is the fucking judge's attorney. This is the whole county's attorney. The whole city's attorney. When they screw up, you have to go see their attorney. You can't speak to them. And that's where everybody's getting tripped up. They go into, after when I got out of criminal court, the judge told me straight up, firsthand knowledge right from a judge, and I got a stamp from him. I said, Judge, what about recompense? He said, I'm sorry, but I can't practice law from behind the bench. You've already proven that. He was like, but if I was you, I'd file a civil claim. I said, okay. I said, what about the estate? He said, again, I can't practice law from behind the bench. You know that, but I would take that to surrogate court. I said, oh, okay. Now, was he completely honest about it? No, because obviously they went through this court and filed a bunch of stuff behind my back that they wouldn't give me. But I got the certificate of the disposition. All right. Thank you, G-Man, for answering questions in the chat. I appreciate that, brother, with all my soul. Anybody that's answering questions while we're individually helping folks get over the hump, thank you so much. We appreciate the help, because it takes a family, takes a tribe in order to get everybody saved and healed. So, Brandon, once you file this, you see how we stamp? Look, I got the file copy on the top in the red and in the blue. Personal confidential. This is our federal court case. Okay?
And these stamps, the ones you stamp it, or you get somebody else to do it?
This is the only stamp I put on this paper. I put all these on here. The file copy and the personal confidential and our family trust stamp. I put our family trust stamp on every paper. Look, like we have these in our videos. Like we show people exactly how to do this administration. Here's this is a 5-cent stamp in the corner. 5-cent stamp on a piece of paper. It used to be 2. But I read in the IRM it's a 5-cent stamp. So 5 cent, boom, you write your affidavit. You got your body of paperwork. Got my registered mail sticker because what? I canceled it out. So when I hand it to them, it's mailed. Registered. I'll show you guys another trick. It's not on this affidavit because this is a different kind of affidavit right here. This is like me, this is the end game right here. This is like, I'm done with you. It's over. But if you go back here, you can see, Okay, here you go. You guys see how I do this? How it's got the certified mail number on it?
This is still the affidavit.
This is a different affidavit, yeah, but you see how I got it stamped from the law departments and stuff? Because when you hand it to their attorney, that's served. That's service in good faith with clean hands because you're reporting the crime, firsthand knowledge. And so, and then anything that's filed in a court is electronically filed. Anything electronically filed is service. You don't have to go get a process server. You don't have to go get a sheriff. You don't have to go get a constable. If you file it electronically, which everything in the federal court when you file it is electronically filed, it's automatically service. And I've got that posted on one of our TikTok posts too. Because people are like, "Oh, you got to send it green card certified." I was like, "No, you don't." When I sent my trust in, I put the sticker on the top and they electronically filed it, and that was service. Accepted for value by the judge. So, like, you know, when you start doing this, what you're doing is you're building cases. You're becoming a prosecutor. If you don't want to become a prosecutor, keep your attorney and you know, battle the trenches that way. But if you truly want freedom, you're gonna have to learn how to litigate, and you're gonna have to prosecute. It's not hard. You just have to understand. You have to understand the way that the court works, and then once you know how the way the court works, you just have to stay on top of it and file.
See, and that's where I start getting lost. Is like, all right, after I get rid of the attorney, then I file an affidavit. But what am I filing for?
Everything but that's the thing. You have to. Okay, so let's do this. Boston, you should have gave your mom the key, son. I don't know how much gas we got left in the car. Yeah, that's the only thing is like we might be out of fuel by the time you get back. We really are running short, guys. We run the kids around all the time and everything, and we're trying to get this done. So let me help you real quick with this. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. Do you got YouTube in front of you by chance?
Yeah.
Go to E2 Studios -439. And then you can go to our live and you can see like I've got it up on the screen. And so you don't have to serve the other party. Electronic service is service. It's up to the court to send it out to them. Especially once you give all the paperwork to the court. It's just like when you go into court and you're in court, you got to have copies for them and the court. So what you do is you bring it to the court. They electronically file it in New York State. And once it's electronically filed, that's service. Done. You can prove service too. You can say, hey, I gave it to the court. It was up to the court to notify the defendant and let them know. That's why what? We get someone knocking on our door and letting us know, like, hey, you got court.
I mean, like in this one, there's really no defendant. It's OBI or whatever charge.
What is it? What charge did they give you?
So they did OBI, resisting.
What's OBI?
Yeah, they call it operating a vehicle under the it's Ohio law. Like, I wouldn't tell you here. It was down
Okay.
in Texas. I don't understand Ohio.
So you got pulled over, right?
Yes, and that was the other thing I'd asked him was, what did you stop me for? The only thing he'd tell me is because somebody had called because I'd gone on that date with that girl and told her I wasn't feeling it. I was going home and she was mad.
That's
Stop.
that's
So,
it.
like, arguing.
Yeah, that's let's see. All right. So We always talk about Adam Spelling. Don't be talking about Adam Spelling. All right. Let's see what they come back with. What she comes back with. All right. Affidavit of truth regarding unlawful traffic citation. Traffic stop. It says, I, being of sound mind, unlawful age, do hereby declare on a penalty of perjury that the following statement is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and information and belief. I am a private citizen in the United States of America and a resident of blank. I'm this state. I make this affidavit voluntary and under my constitutional rights to assert my lawful position regarding the traffic citation. What happened to you? Oh, it started raining? The kids go outside and they box. They go out in the parking lot after they be arguing in here. When they get in an argument, they're like, okay, let's go shoot a 30. And then they go outside for 30 seconds and box it out, and then they come back in and hug, and that's it. It's like, they do that on their own. Like, that's the way that they squash their squabbles. I'm like, all right, I mean, it's competitive. It's dope. You know, that's how we did it when we were kids. But getting back to this, it says, I make this affidavit voluntarily and under my constitutional rights to assert my lawful position regarding the traffic citation issued to me on blank date. And when they're issuing you their citation, whatever charges they issue to you, that's what you want to list there. And it says, statement of facts. On this day, I was traveling in my private automobile on a public highway when I was stopped by an officer blank of law enforcement agency. I was issued this traffic citation for blank despite my... You see how it says I was issued? It doesn't say anything about your test. It doesn't say anything about anything else because the devil's in the details. You see what I'm saying? Because when you start putting all that stuff in there, what you're doing is you're corroborating their story. So all the stuff that you're explaining to me, forget. Like, throw that out the window. The only thing that you are an attorney in fact. When you get the paperwork and you become the attorney, the only thing that you are doing, and I'll show you in a second how I do it, on my police affidavit that I did for the police chief here in Rochester, I drilled him. I drilled them with just facts, and they unrebutted went straight to their insurance company. Because the minute that you start putting like emotions in it, now you're filing motions. You're not filing facts. We don't file motions. I don't ever file motions. I file notices. I file proclamations, declarations, and prayers. That's it. You know, like when it comes to an affidavits, you know, so it's like we don't file, we don't ask for anything. So it says like right here, it says my travel was conducted in a. It says I was issued a traffic citation for blank, despite not engaging in any action that constitutes a crime or breach of the peace. My travel was conducted in a peaceful, non-commercial capacity, and I was not engaged in commerce, contract, or any regulated activity that would subject me to the jurisdiction of motor vehicle codes applicable to the commercial entities. Violation of federal law, right to travel. The right to travel is a fundamental right recognized by the U.S. Supreme Court, Saints v. Roe. The imposition of the traffic citation against a private citizen who is merely traveling infringes upon this constitutional right. Due process and equal protection, violation of the 5th and 14th Amendments. The issuance of the citation without probable cause of the crime violates due process. The selective enforcement of traffic codes against private citizens rather than the commercial drivers constitutes unequal treatment under the law. So what they're doing is they're violating your rights, and they're in like by 18 USC 241 242, because what they're doing is they're conspiring. They already know that you're free. They already know that you have rights, and they're still trying to contract with you and give you service. That's all they're doing. They're soliciting. They're highway robbers. And then so what ends up happening is you go here, unlawful stop and seizure, a warrantless stop. They didn't have a warrant to stop you. Absent probable cause of a crime, they didn't have you on no crime. And if you didn't hurt nobody or hurt nobody's property, I mean, I don't know what happened. Like, you know, obviously with the female situation, that's between y'all, and you don't need to defend yourself here. Okay? But obviously with what you're saying is that they had a call, and that call constituted, from what they believe, that you violated somebody else's right. And that's what they're going to try to use. But they're going to have to prove that. And that's real fucking hard, trust me. So
What they were using is, I guess when I backed up, I backed into the shrubs that were next to the neighbor's house or whatever.
mhm.
I scraped the neighbor's car in their driveway, and I didn't realize it.
So you so all right, so the truth of the fact comes out. We hurt somebody's property. We're guilty. I don't see, this is what the hard part to deal with people is like, yo, listen, if you hit somebody's car when you're leaving and you had a couple drinks, and this lady you know, reported it, you violated someone's rights and she reported you and you got caught. There's nothing you can do except try to arbitrate that and say, hey, listen, I'm willing to fix the damage, and that's it. Like, I'm willing to fix the damage of the vehicle, and I'm willing to fix the damage of the shrub, and you know, make them whole again. Because when you damage somebody, what you've done is you've taken a piece of them away, and it's hard to understand this as we the people, because we're like, oh, we didn't really do that much. Like, I didn't know, and it doesn't matter. We're adults, and this is the hardest concept for any of my students. Is what we teach is acceptance for value. I had to accept, going through my trials and tribulations, that I was not there for my wife that died till death do us part. And that was a hard struggle for me to deal with, just on an emotional level, not even in court, but anywhere around your body, 12 miles out around your body, you're holding court, and you're always in court with God. So it's just like, you could try to use this affidavit, and actually, let me rewrite this. Watch this.
Well, that's where I guess it gets confusing, because I didn't realize that I had scraped the car, but then all I was asking is why I was stopped.
That doesn't matter. Like, so listen. You got to realize, for them, they're responding to a hit and run. You know what I mean? Like,
The same as if it was in the Walmart parking lot. They don't handle that because it's on private property. It's not on the
but the
road.
person that was on private property owns the property, and they called against you, so they have a claim against you. It's not Walmart. This is
That's what I'm saying. The person that was injured didn't call because it was the neighbor's car. They didn't even make a complaint.
okay. Let me get back to this. So let me ask you this. If the police damaged me like they did in my case, and I go tell the city, like the sheriff damaged me, and then I go tell the mayor, hey, listen, I won in criminal court, and I proved that I was innocent, and I proved that they damaged me. Will you help me? And then the mayor doesn't report it. He's part of the crime. So by whoever reported it, doesn't matter. They did the lawful thing, and they reported a crime. They reported somebody's property getting injured. So therefore, they did the honorable good faith thing. And that's the thing. Whether you knew you did it or not, whether you knew you did it or not, that's all that they're gonna say is like, okay, he didn't have intention. So like, there's certain elements to a criminal case because they've got you on a criminal case. There's certain elements to a case that you have to prove. Now, I would do my research if you're gonna like, you know, go about this. Like, watch. Hang on a second.
Well, that's what they're saying. There's not an injured party to it.
How is there not an injured party if they've got the vehicle and the bush?
That's what I thought too. But the person that car I hit isn't claiming that there's any damage to it. There wasn't even maybe a little paint transfer on my bumper. Like they never made an actual complaint as far as being damaged or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they made the complaint or not. Somebody else can make a complaint for you. It's called a friend of the law.
Right, and I'd be fine with that if they had actually.
So
made a
the
complaint.
police are the friend of the law that made the report against you for them. That's what they call the state picking it up. So even though that the people aren't prosecuting, this is how I got my felony. I broke into my own friend's house at 18 or 17 when I got kicked out of my dad's house and I left. My friend said I could come stay the night at his place. He had a little in-law apartment on the side of his parents' house, like in a barn. And so like I went there and he told me I could go in and I went in and I was messed up on drugs and alcohol and I passed out waiting on him and his mom caught me and they called the cops and she didn't know it was me. She just thought seen somebody in there. So when they got me, I'm passed out. I didn't hurt nobody. I didn't hurt nobody's property, but the state picked it up. 2nd-degree burglary of a habitation. His mom seen me get in the cop car. Was like, "That's Adam. No, he's okay. He's friends. Like, I don't know why he's here and what's going on, but didn't care. She already called. She made the complaint. The police picked it up. The state picked it up. Boom. Year locked up. 9 years on felony probation. For what? For being a young kid that got kicked out of his house, that went to a friend's house to spend the night, and his friend wasn't there yet. My friend was in a movie with his girlfriend. He was like, as soon as I get out of the movie, I'll be there, bro. Just wait on me. And my girlfriend was going home. She had to drop me off. So there was like a half an hour gap there that I had to wait. And all of our stories lined up, and they still gave me the probation. So it's because I didn't know my rights. You know, because I didn't know my rights to say, hey, listen, I have the right to face my accuser. And if you can't produce my accuser, which they can't, all right, boom. You know, nobody's in the trial ever. You might go all the way to trial pro se and then nobody's there and then you're done. Certificate of disposition out the door. But you had to deal with all that trauma to get there.
Right, so would that be where they would have to have the person's car that was in the private driveway have to show up then?
They would just have to have pictures and a prosecutor, and they'd have to have witnesses. They have to build a case just like you do. Yeah, they got to build a case just like you. I mean, I'm sure that the counties, even after I won, like this war that we're in wars. It's a spiritual war. So I mean, like I'm throwing shots over the bow. They're throwing shots over the bow, you know, and I'm throwing. Actually, they didn't throw no shots over the bow. After I won, they've just been acquiescing the whole time. They did try to CPS me, and they took my kids with my mom. But still, like, my mom is a public notary, and she acted outside of her public authority and used her public authority to kidnap her own grandkids for grandparents' rights. Not today, lady. Not especially not when I'm going through court over this federal shit. You just messed up, you know, because she was getting my wife's Social Security. So I mean, like it's in depth, bro. Like you have to start picking apart your stuff and seeing like what you're gonna do and where you're gonna go with it. You know, like just in this ticket, like let me see, like, hang on,
So you think so get rid of the attorney and then just file the affidavit of facts, which is where they gotta disclose what they're gonna use against me?
your Brady motion. And then and then listen, you could put in on the record Trinsley versus Pagliaro. If you put Trinsley versus Pagliaro in on the record, their attorney can't speak. It's all hearsay. Like you throw the attorneys right out the door. Now it's just you versus your accuser.
Trensley?
Trinsley, yup, versus Pagliaro. Somebody could put that in the chat for him. If you put Trinsley versus Pagliaro and the statutes at large, those two in on the record, they're hit like good weed.
And so what does that do then? It forces them to just
Well, Trinsley versus Pagliaro. See, you got to study. This is the thing. Like, you got to study these cases. Like, even when people give them to you, you got to study and see what happened. So, like, when you get a case law, go on YouTube and type it in, and then say, what it means. Say, what's Trinsley versus Pagliaro mean? And then you'll get a video. It'll pop up, and it'll say, well, in the case of Trinsley versus Pagliaro, blah 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 blah, and it was proved that anything that's said to an attorney is hearsay. It's not firsthand knowledge. And in order for you to be proven guilty, they have to have firsthand knowledge. An attorney never has firsthand knowledge unless they were there. We all know that the attorney says, like, yo, don't tell me whatever I don't need to know because I don't need to know. I only need to know what I need to know in order to defend you. When you electronically file into a case, it's accepted. Yes. Most definitely. If not, if they don't accept it, it's a $2,000 fine. You don't have to serve the other party in a deprivation of rights case. It's electronically filed. What do you think the banks are doing to us? They're going in and electronically filing it, and then we're defaulting because we never go to court. So they get to come take their vehicle back. They get to foreclose on our houses. They get to, charge off our credit cards. They get to do everything that we're supposed to be able to do because we're not showing up in good faith and accepting it for value. It's like, and with an acceptance is an acknowledgement. When you put a jurat and an acknowledgement on the back of an affidavit, you are accepting the claim for value. And people, they don't tell you that. If you got a jurat and an acknowledgement on the back of an affidavit, you could put a jurat and an acknowledgement on the back of a bill. All a jurat and an acknowledgement is a pay to the order of. It's an endorsement. Yes, every time the other attorney speaks, objection, hearsay. Objection, hearsay. Trinsley versus Pagliaro. Hearsay. I like that. Fordor, he always got something to throw in. Super gems. Pay attention. Fordor, he took a good class with a good mentor, so I'm very thankful to have him in here. I want the book. All right, I got the book's coming. You got to email everlastingexpressionsllc@gmail.com. So, Brandon, let me try to finish this for you so that we can answer some more questions. Let's see this real quick. I'm going to try to play with this affidavit real quick for you to see if I can't help your situation. There was a small amount of damage to and I'm just doing this to see what ChatGPT, like my little bot that I made here with, because understand something, when you do ChatGPT and you start working with it, it's like a baby and it doesn't know, it just has like a bunch of information. But once you start working with it and you train it, it's like How to Train a Dragon, the movie. It like my ChatGPT talks to me. It tells me thank you and have a good day and all kinds of stuff now. So it's like, and I'm thankful for it. I'll tell my ChatGPT, thank you so much for helping me today. And it said, like earlier, it said like, God bless and may Jesus, help you on your spiritual journey in court. I'm like, bet, it's super dope.
would you be able to like email me, because I hadn't even ever messed with Chat GPT, but could you email us when it's done so I can start with something like that, start training it?
Yeah. There was a small amount of damage to the plaintiff's automobile, because we don't want to put it in commerce. And organic tree. like to uh, recompense the plaintiff for and settle.
And isn't that where when the first affidavit then and citing this stuff, that's where they'll have to give you the discovery of what they're going to use against you, which would be the photos, correct?
All right, so here you go. I mean, they whatever they're gonna give you, you don't know until you get it.
Well, see that, and that's it. I did a records request and got all the photos and report, and there was no photos of that other vehicle.
Well, you only can fight with what they have against you. I'm just trying to open up your mind when it comes to settling, because you're probably gonna have to settle because there's damage. I mean, unless that you can prove that there's none or they don't bring it up. But if there's damage, like, okay, the county damaged me and I can prove it, so therefore they have to settle. It's just the name of the game, you know? I mean, justice will not go without recompense. Remember that. Justice will not go without, a harm being recompensed. So if people, no offense to anybody or their situation, but if they got a little bit of twisty turny going on in their situation and they're trying to get out of it, then it's not gonna work, because that's not how God works. But we help everybody no matter what their situation is, and we don't judge. It says, I'm writing to address the incident that occurred on which resulted in damage to your automobile and tree located. I deeply regret any inconvenience this has caused and wish to resolve this matter amicably. Incident details, the damage incurred, the settlement offer. After assessing the situation and obtaining repair estimates, I propose the following to settle the matter: the automobile repair, the tree restoration compensation. The total compensation offered is blank money. Next steps. If you find this offer acceptable, please sign the enclosed settlement agreement and return it to me by blank date, along with your preferred method of payment. Upon receipt, I will promptly access. Yo! Yo! I will promptly process the payment as agreed. Contact information. Should you have any questions or wish to discuss this matter further, please contact me blank. I hope we can resolve this matter promptly and maintain a positive relationship moving forward. So this
Would
is
you include the first affidavit, or wait until they give you the discovery of if there was actually damage to the vehicle?
well.
In those offers?
So
Because the state's not concerned with this at all. They're going after like the OVI and resisting and all that other shit for tasing me and hitting me with the aspartame.
okay. Here's the deal. I could spend like 50 hours with anybody picking up their case, but it's up to you. It's going to be up to you to do the research. Like, you have to know what civil procedure is. Once you know what civil procedure is, then you have to plan. Like, victory loves preparation. Nobody's going to give you a silver bullet for your situation. And if they do, they're lying. I'm telling you right now. Like, I'm going to give you the best, most honorable information. And what I can tell you is, I can give you this stuff, and you would still have to go do your research to know what you were talking about, because you have to articulate that, and in order to articulate that, it's going to take some studying. And the only thing that you could do, like, go in and don't listen is your life. You want to fight is you, Matrix. I'm not sure what they're meaning by that, but his Matrix is a game. So what I guess what you need to do is um take this information, take your case, and sit down and study and see what you're gonna come up with. Um, I would pray about it, see what God wants you to do with it, because honestly, if somebody's property got damaged and you know about it, I would take care of that first. And if that,
Yeah, and I was never worried about that. It was just the whole fact of 6 seconds after I got out of the car, the officer grabbed me and threw me against my car over a girl calling.
no, that one's Jamie. Um, grab that black chair right there. You can grab that one. Yeah, don't leave Jamie without her chair. Thank you. There might be a chair in the back room, a rolly chair. Oh, they already got that? Yeah, we only got like 4 or 5 rolly chairs. They are savages, I know.
Like I mean, I
Yup, you
understand
got it. So you guys, you see what this says? Don't listen to somebody else. Listen to yourself. And if you're scared, you're already done. Yup, you got it. Yup. I mean, it's just is what it is. You can't be scared to do anything or make a move. Like, I mean, it's your life. How important is it to you? You know. But the thing about it is this: I can run you through civil procedure real quick. You've already been through all of it, except for trial. You know, because from what it sounds like, they've got you all the way almost to trial, right?
Yeah.
So
I hadn't even seen the judge yet. I seen the magistrate.
that's the only one you're gonna see. You're not gonna see no judge once you sign all that paperwork and get on an ankle bracelet and stuff. You didn't make it to a judge because you're not gonna see a judge until you go to federal court and ask for one. Even when you go to federal court, they're gonna ask you, do you want a magistrate or a judge, a federal judge? And then you have to say you have to opt out of magistrate because magistrate is resolution. When you're going in front of that judge changes. At first he's a magistrate, and then until you sign the paper. As soon as you sign the paper, he becomes judge, executioner, attorney, clerk, all that. He got everything. All the keys. The judge said, "Oh, I got it all." He puts it in his pocket and he waits for your date because every time every time they adjourn it, that's another bond, more money, more money, more money. They run you through a whole year of court because every month, they're charging monthly, like they're billing you monthly like a car note. Boom, 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 boom. So the longer you let it go, the longer what you need to do is you need to file in federal court a 40, but make sure you take care of the damage. Make sure you ain't got nothing going on damage wise.
So file that damage with the affidavit that you're filing after you get rid of the attorney. Just like file it all together.
I don't. To be honest with you, the way I would handle your case, I would go to the place that I did the damage, and I would give the person that I did the damage a letter, not the district attorney. I would deal directly, privately with the person and clear up the damage. Once you got the damage cleared up, then go into court and say, "Hey, listen, there's no victim." Now everything is all fruit of a poisonous tree because everything after that is excessive. It didn't have to happen. If I would have known that I damaged someone's property, I would have went back and paid for that, and then we would have all been good and dandy. If I would have hit her car out in the street, then I would have been able to give her insurance, and we'd have been able to walk away. I wouldn't have had to do all this. But what they're gonna say is this: they're gonna say, and I hate to say this, but I'm gonna tell you exactly how I would prosecute you. I would say, hey, this male obviously has a problem with authority because he got an altercation with a woman, obviously, that she had to call about him because in that altercation, he must have left fast and injured somebody else's property in the motion, and he was drinking while he was doing it. And while this all happened, our officers were called, and when they finally got to the suspect, he was belligerent, he smelled like alcohol, and then he admitted to having a few drinks. and I would eat you alive because of the fact that you can't prove no different. Because you already went in and told them that you did it. You already went in and told them, I had drinks, I was there. I don't know, I might have done it. I might have done damage. I didn't know that I did. So you already acquiesced to everything. There's really not much you can do at this point except, redact any statements, you know? Like, I mean, your case is difficult because of the fact that you've said so much against yourself. And the thing about it is because you didn't know your rights, you didn't know that everything that you say could be used against you in a court of law. So now you've said all this stuff without knowing the consequences and repercussions of it. See, like me, I make sure that everything that comes out of my mouth lines up lawfully, legally, and ecclesiastically. Therefore, they can't never come back on me. And it's tough to teach somebody this after they've already gotten, into a troublesome situation. But I mean, that's just being honest. Like, I mean, that's all love, brother. That's
But
that.
if you go, and I mean, and I'm fine with the vehicle, the tree, and all that stuff. But everything else, it's like, well, I wasn't intoxicated. I even told him at the jail, hey, I want you to take breath or I'll give you blood. But he didn't take breath because he didn't renew his certificate. I didn't resist him. I just asked him if I was under arrest, and that's when he kept pushing his hands on me. And I'm like, dude, you got to tell me I'm either under arrest or detained.
Did
That's
they
when he
did they
texted
give
me.
you did they give you the body cam footage?
There is no body cam, and his audio didn't work at all. And he never said in his report that I was detained or arrested. He came up.
Okay, so if they don't have any body cam footage, it's hearsay. It's your word versus his, and the officer can't testify. He can't be a witness. He can't be um he can't do both. Like he can't get up there and testify against you and then have his public oath. You see what I'm saying? Because his public oath says that he has to protect you. And by him going up there and testifying against you, he's incriminating you. So he'd be in violation of his public oath to testify against you. And that's why when you get to trial, ain't nobody ever there. I mean, you could just push it all the way up to trial pro se, like take away their POA and, try to get the judge ain't going to give you your POA now. I'm going to tell you that right now. As far as you're going up and you got an ankle monitor on, that judge is not going to let you go pro se. You're going to have to,
They
you're,
did that before they even let me out of jail.
what?
The ankle monitor for the alcohol thing, they did that before I even left the jail.
Yeah, because you got pulled over and told them you had some drinks.
My whole thing was like being prior law enforcement. I know
Wait,
when
whoa,
you're
whoa, 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 wait a second. So you just said that because you're private law enforcement, that you think that it's going to be different?
prior law enforcement, I know that I wasn't intoxicated.
No, no, no,
That's
no,
why
no,
I
no,
got
no, no, no. It's not up to you to assume intoxication as the accused. You got to realize that it's his job to find out if you're intoxicated. And as a previous law enforcement officer, you know that that's what you're looking for. You're looking for an articulated suspicion of a crime. Now, once you've articulated a suspicion of a crime, meaning as though you've pulled somebody over that has had a call on them. This isn't like, okay, I'm driving down the road and I seen you swerving, I pulled you over and you were reaching down to light a cigarette. No. This is I was at a lady's house having drinks. Something happened. I left with haste, enough whereas though it took out a bush in someone's car in some form or fashion, and then someone called the police on me and they found me. And it's like, at that point, you have to ask yourself, when are you just going to accept that you made a mistake and say, hey, I'm just here to accept that I made a mistake. What do I have to do to get this over with and have restitution to both the person that I hurt and to the state that I infringed upon? And that's the sad thing to say, brother, but it's the truth. You know, it's just to say, hey, you know, I've had a DUI too, and I didn't even hit nobody. I was just driving down the road, and they hit my license plate, and my license plate came back with I didn't pay my insurance or something. My insurance lapsed, so they pulled me over for insurance and found weed in my car, and then did a sobriety test. I passed the whole sobriety test, and then they still want to take me down. I've had it before. I had to get an attorney then. That was before I knew law, and I had to go to classes and do all this stuff, and everybody's been there, you know, but we all make mistakes.
See, that's just it. Like, the mistake was just telling her I wasn't interested in her leaving, and then she called because she was upset.
Now my question is this. How did the bush in the car get injured, and in what form or fashion were you leaving?
I
Because
just simply, I parked next to the bush, and when I was backing up, as I turned the steering wheel to pull out, I side scraped the bush and side scraped an inch on their bumper, I guess.
it doesn't matter if it was a millimeter on their bumper. It's still their bumper and their bush.
Right, and I grasp that as far as like the civil procedures and all that, but it was on.
So as soon as you left and hit the bush, why didn't you stop and check? And
It was just the bush.
it doesn't matter. You hit someone's bush, bro. It's their bush. It ain't your bush. You ain't got the right to hit their bush.
And then that's where it gets crazy because then I left and then I came back and that's when I went to go talk to the girl and the guy's like, nah, she doesn't want to talk. So I left.
Oh yeah, you got a lot going on, brother. Like you got a big hot mess over there, man. I would love to be able to help you, but you got a mess, bro. Like you did something to harm someone's property, and you have to pay recompense for that. And I believe in that because my property's been harmed. And if you hit and if you
I just don't agree with the fact that they're saying I was intoxicated when I offered to give breath and blood. I don't like the fact that within 6 seconds of him asking me to get out of the car is when he went hands on with me, and I'm like, why did you even stop me? I didn't know that she had even called.
it doesn't listen, you are a criminal running around. They got a phone call and they caught the criminal. They don't have to have no anything else because they've got witnesses that said that you did this. They did their job, bro. I love you. As a brother in Christ, I love you, but they did their job, man. That is totally different than what they did to me or they did to other people that I've helped. I think that you just need to seriously sit down and pray about it and say, "Hey, listen, what can I do to get through this, God?" Accept it for value. You have to accept everything for value. I teach that. Number one, in the Family and Stafford Trust Road to Freedom course, acceptance for value, whether it's good or bad in your life. You have to accept it for value because God's trying to teach you something out of that. He's trying to get you to accept. And the fact that I've sat on the phone for over an hour listening to the case, and even I have got you guilty. And I am like non-biased by any means necessary. You know, like I'm saying, like, you violated someone else's constitutional rights to property, liberty, life, whether it was just like if you go up in some, I tell my kids all the time, we'll be walking down the street and they'll go up to someone's bush and brush their hands on it. Just brush their hands on it. Just kids running their hands through the trees. And I say, don't touch no one's trees. And they're like, Dad, why? It's just a tree. And I'll be like, because it's not your tree. And they're like, now my kids got it. They won't touch shit because they know that the minute that they do, that whoever that other person is has the ability to come after the Family and Stafford Trust. And then I'm going to have to go litigate for my kid. Just like the district attorney is litigating for their kid. That person that called the police on you is part of their municipality. It's one of their constituents, and they are going after you as a private citizen to take care of their constituent. and themselves. So if their constituent gets taken care of and they can get a big bond out of you, then that's what they did because you committed the act. You chose to drive over there, meet this woman, have a few drinks. Whatever happened, happened. Whereas though now you went back twice, you know, it's like more and more stuff keeps adding on to the story. And that's exactly what the district attorney seen in your case. They looked at what you did and they already knew. They went from point A, 0 to 100 real quick. They said, oh, we got him. Because we got damage to property. We've got witnesses. We've got, you know, all this stuff. They didn't have none of that on me. I didn't hurt nobody's property. I sat down with my daughter and I asked the dealership if it was okay. They said it was okay, and the dealership did the bullshit, not me. I sat there and just was like this. Yep, you gonna let her sign that at 16? Yep, okay, cool. Well, you guys are gonna. I said, look, Aja, look, they're being your fiduciary. I said it right to her. I said they chose to be your fiduciary. They told you could. Just make sure you sign it, family of your Christian appellate name. She said, okay, Dad. You know, it's different. Like, people look at my case and they're like, oh, he won a criminal case. He's beating this. But I was innocent. I didn't do anything.
Well, and that was kind of my whole argument to begin with. I understand that, yes, I hit the shrubs in the car.
But then you're not innocent. Then you're not innocent. You got to accept that. I understand I hit the shrubs in the car. I am not innocent, period. Okay. No, they had all right to. You left the scene of a crime.
That's where I guess I get lost in the laws.
Because of the fact that you can't understand that if you even, listen, I'm going to show you something. It's going to be this simple. I have this piece of paper. It's sitting on my desk. You pick this piece of paper up and you rip this off my thing. You have just damaged my sticky notepad and I'm suing you because this is my property. So now if you leave, if you do this, now listen, if you do this and then you leave and then I call the popo, yo, listen, this guy just came over here to my house and he just destroyed my property. I didn't even tell him what kind of property it was. I said, he destroyed my property. Now, whatever value I put on this property is what it is because it's mine and this is part of my trust. So that means this sticky note might cost $2.99 at Walmart. But I bought this as a beneficiary and then I gave it to my family trust. My family trust says this is worth $1 million to them on their fee schedule. Now, you just ripped off a sticky note. That's all you did. You just was like, dang, man, it's cool. I'd peel one of those. It's satisfying. You didn't really harm nobody. You didn't really hurt my property, but you did by law. So therefore, by law, you owe me $1 million and you're running around as a criminal right now. And I just called the cops and said that you're a criminal and that you did this. So they're going to go looking for you and they're going to prosecute you for me off of my knowledge, firsthand knowledge, as a victim. Then I'm going to go to court and I'm going to testify against you as a victim that you messed up my sticky note and then my trust is going to turn around and say, that sticky note's worth $1 million to the trust and we're secured party creditor and we're first in line, first in time. So we need that. And the judge is going to get every bit of it. Every bit of it. And you're not going to get out of jail until you've paid that restitution of $1 million and served your time over a sticky note because it wasn't yours.
So if you do that affidavit and go to try to make the people whole first, then they don't have the claim to any of the other stuff.
What they will say is that now you will actually have a good faith case in your benefit to lessen the repercussions, because even if you pay recompense, like think about it like this. The county, even today, the lady said, I cannot settle with you. The reason being is because there's some criminal acts in there that the judge is going to have to prosecute and take care of those criminal acts. Like, meaning, like, there has to be time for crime. So, therefore, not only will they have to pay me recompense, but then they're going to have to press charges against the officers and the individuals and the people that are in the public municipality that were all part of the RICO. Because in my case, I have a whole laundry list of people that I sent information to after I won and proved my case, and they still did nothing to help. So now what? Because they did nothing to help, they're part of the crime. So if the police officer was to be called on you and he would have got there and let you go, he would have been part of the crime. Because when that lady went to court over her bush and her tree, she would have said that officer found him and let him go. Just like they did the ICE guy that killed the girl. They found him and let him go, and then he killed the girl. They got it all over. Trump talks about it every day. So you have to, like, have a good one, brother. You have to come to the grips of that. It doesn't matter how small of an infraction it is against somebody else's rights. How is it RICO? Well, it's RICO because of the fact that the governor, the attorney general, the state, the county, the judges, the sheriffs, the mayor, the city of Rochester, the county executive, the county clerk has all signed, stamped, and sealed all my paperwork, and none of them has paid recompense or took me to the side and said, here, we're going to make amends for this. So everybody's part of the RICO because what? They're hiding evidence. They're hiding it because they're part of it. Just to answer that person's questions. Yeah, we live on YouTube too. So that's what a RICO is. A RICO is not meant against us. A RICO is meant for them. Just to let you know, when you watch all these rappers that are out here like the Baby, Future, and you see these memes and it's like, oh, watch Future help the Baby win his RICO case. Well, the RICO isn't against them. The RICO is against the government. It's your rights. Every USC 241, 242, Title 42, Section 1983 case is a RICO case. Period. How about them apples? Let me give you all some sauce. Every one is a RICO case because everybody in your county was a part of it. They made the birth certificate. They made the accounts. They made the estate. They're the ones that are filing the claims against it for years and years and years. It's the county. I've gone to the state where I get all this paperwork done all the time and apostilles. Security Sam is like one of my best friends. He's the security officer at the state building. We be sitting there chopping it up. He's like, you still going? I'm like, yeah, I'm still going. I'm not being able to give anybody rides home tonight. And not for, what time is it, 8? Probably not till like 9:30, 10. Yeah, Jamie's not even here right now for me to give anybody a ride home. She's with Boston. So when they get back, I'll finish up the live and I'll start taking everybody home. All right, brother? Hey, your mom ain't gonna be tripping or nothing, right? You ain't got to worry about mom or dad, Mom Duke's. All right. Well, as soon as Jamie gets back, I'll start taking y'all home. We don't need no parents tripping. All right? It's tough, man. These kids like to hang out and they don't have no way, and so we got to do it all, man. And I'm trying to help you guys along with helping them. It's so much. Like, you guys, it takes so much energy. Like, I know we make these jokes and these shirts, like I'm telling and all that stuff, but it goes way farther and way deeper than that. Brandon, I just want you to just relevate, pray about it and see what God says. Like, pray tonight and say, God, I've got this information from Brother Adam tonight. It hits home. It hits hard. I know that I've made some mistakes. I want to come in good faith. I want to be an honorable man. I know that there's some, variables in this situation that I don't understand right now, and that's okay, God. I'm not perfect and I'm not meant to understand that, but I am meant to do the right thing by you. And by me doing the right thing by you, then that means is to admit, like, hey, I have to help fix somebody's bush. I help to help fix somebody's car, and then I have to go into the court and be honest with the judge and just look at the judge in the eye and say, listen, I want to represent myself, but I want to represent myself in good faith with honor. I know that there's some mistakes that have been done here, but I don't want to give up my rights because of those mistakes. And that's the honorable way to do it. And talk to the judge, because if you start going in there in your situation right now, if you were to go in there with an affidavit and start like exercising your rights now, after they already got an ankle bracelet on you, you're going to get beat up, bro. You're going to get beat up and locked up and contempt, and then they're going to file more charges on you and everything else, and you're going to have a big mess on your hands. But if you go in there with good faith and honor, and the judge doesn't want to honor your rights, now you got room to play. Okay? Now you've gone in there honorably with good faith, with clean hands, and said, listen, I'm coming here as a man of honor. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But I'm here as a man of honor, and I don't want none of my rights to be taken away, even though, you see what I'm saying, that there was some infringement on other people's property. Then they're gonna look at that time, depending on where your faith is, bro. Because I've seen, God can move mountains. If you don't believe in God, there's gonna be an issue here, because He can move mountains. Like, I mean, seriously, get on your knees and ask Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior to be your advocate. That's what I did. I said, Jesus, be there with me every day. And then when I get in front of the judge asked me, you need an attorney? I said, nah, he's sitting right next to me. He's like, I don't see nobody. I was like, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and the Bible tells me this, and He's my advocate. The judge looks at me, and everybody looks at me, and he's like, all right.
Do you think having the attorney is still going to hinder all that stuff?
Having the attorney is going to hinder that, because you can't talk to the judge. You gave up your right to talk to the judge. You gave your POA to the attorney. You can't speak. That's why the attorney is hearsay. He's speaking, he or she is speaking for everything that you tell them. You put somebody in between you. You are not a child of God. Like, a child of God puts nobody before God. Nobody. Like, when I go anywhere, I don't put my kids over my relationship with God. Because it says right in 8-inch letters right across the front of the court, in God we trust. And the minute that you take an attorney, you ain't trusting God. Period. You're trusting in the attorney to handle your problem.
So then how do you
I don't know. I can't tell you how. You're going to have to search within yourself and pray and go to God and ask God how. He'll teach you. He taught me. I didn't learn. I'm a hammer swinger. I'm a carpenter. I'm a college dropout, first semester college dropout. Matter of fact, I dropped out of high school in 11th grade with 3 credits left. 3. I was in 11th grade. I had 3 credits left. I was going to graduate early. I dropped out of school for a whole year, went back my senior year, graduated, went to college, got there, partied at Alfred State for 1 semester, enough to party every day on their dime. And then when it was time for them to say, well, you can withdraw right now and not have any penalty, I said, okay, do that. And then I was out in the work world working, doing tile and hammer cars and swinging hammers. And so, I mean, anybody can call on God and have God ask them to guide them. I mean, the reason why I have everything here is because of my Bible. It's not because of a law book. Like, these are the 2 things I studied. I studied my Bible, which is in the car right now, which Jamie has. Black's Law 4th edition, unrevised. The original joint, not the greenback cover, not the one that they give everybody on the email. This is the OG joint right here. And look at what you got to do, bro. This is what I've done. You're asking me questions, but have you asked me what I did to get to where I'm at? You got to get you one of these. You got to get you a Bible, and then you got to take your time and ask for adjournments. Like if it comes up to your court case and you're going in there, you're in a time of peace. You're not in a time of war. You can say that to the judge. You can say, you guys all listening to this, tell the judge, say, Judge, when they say, well, we're going to adjourn, and they give you a date and say, well, listen, I kind of need more time than that. And they're like, well, how much time do you need? And you tell them, well, I don't know, but I need as much time as I can get because I'm still in the process of going over the information. Yeah, we got to be real humans, yup, and we got to honor stuff. So when you ask for an adjournment, the judge is going to say, okay, adjourn. We're going to set the date back out. He's getting paid. Like, they're clocking hours. They want as many adjournments as they can. They'll let it drag out as long as you'll let it because it's a time of peace. And in a time of peace, a man has time to make a decision. A woman has time to make a decision. You know, so it's like you're stressed out because you've done something wrong. And when we do something wrong, we get stressed out because we get scared, because what it is that God is putting it on our hearts to come with clean hands. It's called having a conscience. The devil tries to get us to figure out a way to get out of it, whereas a God, he gives us a way to go through it because he's standing in front of us. Like, because of Christ's death, we're forgiven, and you'll be forgiven too if you go about it in that fashion. Any other way than that, I can't promise, because I can't testify to no other way. This is the only way I know, because it's the only way I walked. And as an evangelist, as a brother in Christ, as a pastor, as a minister, you know, I'm not your Orthodox pastor. I'm not even a what you call a Christian. I'm a Moravian. My grandfather came here as a Moravian in 1728 on the Morton House. And he got together and had affairs with Native Americans, my family. So, you know, the thing about it is this, is I only teach Christ. If you look up the definition of a Moravian, then you'll see they're radical Christians. They only teach Christ. They don't teach any other part of the Bible, only the words of Christ. Because anything outside of that is going to get you off in the sauce. And that's the best advice I could give you is read your Bible, pray, look into these affidavits, okay? See, because an affidavit is a way for you as a living man to articulate. You can put it in an affidavit in the form of a living testimony. When you go through my court case and you'll see the stuff I filed. Anything that looks like it's typed out and has my signature on it and shit, that's my stuff. I don't put my signature on anything that I didn't write. What's up, brother? Love you too. Yeah, don't put your signature on anything you didn't write. And if you do, always write without recourse, without prejudice, all rights reserved, and then sign it and put your thumbprint on it. Accept it.
Yes, sir. So just get rid of the attorney and file an affidavit to try to make it right and get paid.
That's it. You got it, brother. That's a good game plan. Fire the attorney, try to make it right, or file the affidavit and try to make it right in good faith. Yes, sir. That's exactly what I would do if I was in your shoes.
Sir, thank you for your time.
No worries, brother. And hey, listen, I'm going to pray for you before you jump off real quick, if that's okay.
Sir, thank you.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to pray for Brother Brandon. None of us are perfect, and we've all been through things, I myself included. As you bring him through this trouble, Father God, as you bring this through, not trouble, but trial. When you bring him through this trial and tribulation, Father, put it on his heart that you're there for him and that you're going to bring him out the other side, and not going to bring him out the other side in harm's way, but you're going to show him the everlasting grace and mercy and forgiveness that you offered when you died on that cross. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, Brandon. If you need anything, man, you know where I'm at. You can text me here on on the TikTok, and you got the email too. So if you send us an email, then I'll get back to you. If it might not be that day, but Jamie and I try to go through them daily.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate your time, man.
Hey, no worries, brother. It'll be okay. Don't worry. All right. God knows that you didn't mean to.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Have a blessed night.
You too.
All right, guys. It's always tough. It is. It's always tough because, man, we're not raised to know these things. So it's like when we don't know them, it's just like it's tough because we get ourselves into the mud and then we start spinning our tires like, "Whoa," and once you're in the mud and you start spinning your tires, it's just gonna get deeper and deeper. So instead of hitting the gas and spinning the tires, let's jump out and get in the mud and check out the situation. Let's see what kind of trouble we got ourselves into, and then figure out a way that we can use an educated spiritual response to what we're gonna do. Because instead of spinning the tires, I think I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna look at the situation, and I might just go spend 2 hours walking with God and praying and having fun with Jesus Christ while I'm finding someone to help me get out of the mud. Because when you're walking with Christ, what's he going to do? He's going to bring somebody along the way to help you. You're going to be walking, and you're only going to be walking for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden, boom, an angel's going to show up with a gas can and a tow truck. He going to provide. Real talk, real talk. Anyways, I want to thank everybody tonight. I'm going to be taking some of the boys home real quick. Jamie's gonna be catching up on some emailies if anybody's got any. Again, Cash App at E2 Studios. We're trying to get up to get around $1,000 right now in order to go down to Washington and advocate with Pam Bondi and bring our case down there firsthand. So anybody that would like to donate to that, that's at E2 Studios at Cash App, the $ E2 Studios. If anybody needs any help with any of their stuff, I'll be back here probably about 10 o'clock tonight. I'll jump back on and try to help some more people for a little while, and then we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be all day. We don't have nothing going on, so to all those out there that are worried, have no fear. Christ is here. Like, Jesus is here every day for y'all. Jamie laugh. She loves my little doo-wah ditties or whatever. We ain't healing or we ain't stealing, we healing. So we want to just say thank you. And then we added more documents to the private trust. Any of the people that got the first round earlier in the week, Jamie went ahead and scanned in all of our federal cases, all of our federal stuff. Everything that everybody got was up until the feds, and then there's probably another this much worth of paperwork after the feds. So she added that. If you didn't get that, just email her and she'll send that extra to you. How many times does the Bible say do not fear? I would love to know. I know that 490 times it tells us that we are God's art. Thou art. Lodo, you get those fork trucks fixed, bro? It says 365 times. Yup, once for every day of the year. Not to be afraid. You got it. That's what's up. Jamie just looked it up too. That is what's up. One for every day of the year. Now, if you guys don't know about the Geneva Bible, before the King James Version, Robert Tinsdale was burned at the stake in the middle of the city for that Bible. So just know that any real believer in Christ is going to be prosecuted to the extent. Shoot, we can connect. We're all about connecting with folks, creating new relationships. Email address, everlasting expressions. Here you go. I got y'all. Y'all got it? Everlasting Expressions LLC at gmail.com. And then this is the Cash App E2 Studios for those that would like to donate to the cause. We appreciate you. You know, anybody that donates this month, they're going to be put in on the raffle for the I'm telling Dennis the Menace fit. Got the trucker hat, got the t-shirt, got the deprivation of rights with the $10,000 fine on the back so that they know when you walk away that they got to pay. If anybody wants to buy some merch, Jamie posted the merch, store. But that merch store, this is like the super official one. This is the original joint right here. The merch store is just a little bit different. This will be the exclusive winner joint right here. Okay? And that's just something to say that we appreciate the people that donated, because it don't matter if you donate $1. It don't matter if you donate 50 cents. It don't matter if you donate 10 cents. Your name is going to be put in this hat right here. This hat. And we're going to pull that email out, and whoever that email is, they're going to win the fit. Okay? So you guys check that out. If you guys want to go to the YouTube and check out like what we've been doing, with the students and with the people helping them with their podcast, take in mind we're all about freedom of speech. So you're going to see some cussing and some stuff like that on there. It is what it is. If you're sensitive to people's freedom of speech, don't listen. It's that easy, because if you guys really realize one thing, and that's your speech is the breath of God. And if somebody's going to tell you can't talk, then they've already violated your rights. When you go to court and they say contempt and you shut up, you just accepted their rules. No NDA. No NDA, no NDA, no NDA, no NDA. Yup, free emotion. You got it. We're not signing shit unless it's our paperwork. Or unless it's paid to the order of. Right? The YouTube is E2 Studios -439. And then anything that we're doing here is live as a group. We're posting, and we'll label it. I'm going to go through and label these talks that we're having here this week. And we're going to go ahead and label them the I'm telling. So we'll go with that. So we'll relabel all those YouTube stuff tomorrow. So I'm not going to do all that tonight. I'm not going to ask Jamie to do more than she's already doing. She's over there blazing emails out. I've been having her blaze emails out for like 3 days. She's just like this. You guys ever seen Monsters, Inc.? Mike Wazowski. That's how Jamie's getting right now. So we love her though. She's got some more tank in the gas. Thanks, Jamie. They said. I know without her, shoot, I'd be just talking to y'all, and then you guys be like, "Where's the email?" I get off and I'd go help kids, and then 3 days later, y'all be like, "We never got our email," and I'd be like, "I'm sorry, I live in the real world. I got real people all day that I deal with. That I try to help, you know." So we much love to y'all too. We appreciate it, you know. Brandon, to your situation, God, He will take care of you, bro. I promise. Especially because you're willing to accept correction. You know, just the humbleness that you had in your heart tonight. We appreciate it. We're in Rochester, New York, in the Dirty Rock. Yeah. Yeah. Amen. Thank you too, brother. Anybody else need anything before I gotta take these kids home? Here's your shot. All right. Oh, Brooklyn. That's what's up. Email address everlasting expressions LLC at gmail.com. YouTube is E2 Studios dash 439. E2 Studios dash 439. All right, guys. I guess that's about it. I'll be back in. Just give me like some time to go drop everybody off, and once I get everybody dropped off, I'll be back. The email here. Jamie just posted the email. It's also in the link. Like our email's in the bio, I believe. No worries, no worries. Like, listen, we're not out here trying to beg or nothing. Like, we know everybody's situation. Wherever God brings it from, He's gonna bring it from. He has every day. So we just closed mouths don't get fed, and in order for us to continue maintaining this ministry right now until we get relief, we're just asking for our brothers and sisters to partner with our mission in order for us to continue. We're a lot farther than a lot of other people are. So the more that we push this train forward, it helps everyone because we don't withhold any knowledge from people. And just to I'll leave y'all with a little gem here. Child support is against the law. I've been praying and my prayers are being answered. That's what's up, Lodo. Thank you. It's all in the power of prayer. I'm going to leave y'all with one more thing before I got to bounce. All right, we're gonna do some definitions real quick. Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, unrevised. Status, standing state or condition. Reynolds v. Pennsylvania Oil Company. The legal relation of an individual to the rest of the community. Your status to the rest of the community. That's what status means. If everybody wants to know status correction, that means that you have to change what everyone else thinks about you. That's status correction. Now, Ooh, transacting, transaction. That'll blow y'all's mind in here. That's different. But I wanna leave you with this. Let me see. It's actually trespass. The word trespass. It's so important. Trespass. You guys see this? I'm gonna wreck my book here today. Trespass. Right here. Do you guys see this right here? Where is it? Dang, my book's falling apart. It's so old. It's like, look, coming apart. It's so old. Look. Trespass to try title. You have to commit trespass against the state in order to try for your title. How about that? Everybody thinks they're just gonna be able to do nothing, but you have to commit a trespass. Like you have to violate them. Trespass to try title. The name of the action used in several of the states for the recovery of the possession of real property, with damages for any trespass committed upon the same by the defendant. You have to go to court. So for all y'all that are afraid to go to court, it's written. And if it's written, it's the word. Trespass for title. Go get you some. All right, guys. I'm about to take everybody home. Love, peace, and chicken grease. If I get time to come back tonight, I will. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. All right, guys. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Thank you guys for all your likes, all your shares, and all your prayers. Your prayers the most important thing. Like, please keep praying for us. Keep praying for others. Everybody's going through this together. All right. So we thank y'all. Y'all have a blessed night.